And it's been an all-Arsenal affair. It's finished Arsenal 4, Aston Villa 0. Alessio Russo netted 2, the first leaping highest in the box to head it home on the 17-minute mark. Then whacking it in the last minute of extra time. Beth Mead took the second from close range, and Stina Blackstenius marked her 100th appearance for the Arsenal with the third. It's 8 out of 8 undefeated for interim manager René Slegers, and the Gunners move up to third on goal difference. Full-time, Arsenal 4, Aston Villa 0.
Other scores: Manchester United 4, Liverpool 0 and Tottenham 2. Everton won both full times. 74 minutes gone in the other game. It is West Ham 3, Crystal Palace 2. Into the Championship underway in the second half. West Brom, Sheffield United. Sarah Mulkerrins.
Yeah, it's West Brom 1, Sheffield United 2. The hosts were in full control. They were causing all sorts of questions of the Sheffield United defence. Torbjorn Hegem put them ahead, glancing header from the corner, and then Sheffield United equalised. A defensive mix-up, a low cross not cleared properly. Callum O'Hare there to poke home, and moments later they were ahead. Another wicket ball in from Harrison Burrows on the left. Tyrese Campbell slid in. That was his 6th goal in 8 games, and it is now West Brom 1, Sheffield United 2.
And Sheffield United going back to the top of the
parts of the world. There's some international concern about what happens next in Syria. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the fall of Assad is both a great opportunity and a very dangerous moment.
This collapse is a direct result of our forceful action against Hezbollah and Iran, Assad's main supporters. But it also means we have to take action against possible threats. We're going to follow events very carefully. If we can establish peaceful relations with the new forces emerging in Syria, that's our desire. But if we do not, we'll do whatever it takes to defend the state of Israel.
In other news, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says 43,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed since Russia's full-scale invasion nearly 3 years ago. In a rare admission of casualty figures, he also said there'd been 370,000 cases of injuries, with some soldiers being wounded more than once. Strong winds are continuing to affect much of the UK after Storm Dara left 2 men dead and tens of thousands of properties without power. A farmer in West Cornwall, Eric Morley, says 9 cows were electrocuted when strong winds brought down a power cable while the animals were sheltering under a hedge.
The field is, almost a cliff-top field, really, exposed to just about everything the weather could throw at it. It's not very nice seeing your own animals lying dead in the field. 9 of them. We put 2 years' work into them. We should have some compensation, but we don't necessarily do it for the money.
And Donald Trump has said he aims to deport all immigrants who are in the United States illegally during his 4-year term as president. But in a television interview, he also said he wanted to agree a deal to protect people known as dreamer immigrants, the undocumented people who arrived in the US as children.
Welcome to a special episode of Rugby Union Weekly.
Hello, British audience. My name is Alona Marr.
How are you finding the British weather?
It's cold. It's wet. We do train a little late at night, and I did stop moving for a little bit, and everything froze, but I think I'll get used to it. I was rolling my bags in, and a girl goes to me, "Oh, welcome to the Olympic Villa." And I was like, gotcha. If I'm what gets them in the door, awesome, but I hope that they see the rugby that's being played is what makes them stay.
5 Live's Rugby Union Weekly. Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport
with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Right then, Premier League full times. Fulham 1, Arsenal 1, Ipswich 1, Bournemouth 2, Leicester 2, Brighton 2. If we get any pertinent reaction, we will bring it to you between now and 4:30. If not, you will hear it at half-time in our next commentary. And what a big one it is, Tottenham versus Chelsea. And with the team news, here's correspondent John Murray.
Well, Steve, the team news here, I would say it's a minor sensation that Tottenham have Mickey van der Ven fit to play. There was not a whisper of that. Romero also given the thumbs up to return, and that puts a very different perspective on this match. So the Tottenham team, he's made 4 changes from Thursday night, the defeat to Bournemouth, the much talked about defeat to Bournemouth. So Forster in goal, then Pedro Porro's back as well at right back. Porro, Romero, Van der Ven and Udogie, Sarr and Basuma with Kulusevski in midfield, Johnson and Son, and then Solanke. So Madison among the substitutes. Remember, there's still no Bentancur. He is suspended. Vicario out long term. Ben Davis has picked up an injury as well. And as for Chelsea, Enzo Maresca has made the usual sweeping changes. He made 6 changes for Wednesday night. They won 5-1 at Southampton. He's made 7 changes for this one. So Sanchez in goal, and that's an interesting point in itself, rotating the goalkeepers. Then Caicedo at right back, it looks like. Badiashile, Colwill and Cucurella, Lavia and Fernandez, then Sancho, Palmer, Neto and Jackson. So you will work out from that Nkunku's a substitute, so's Felix, so's Madueke and Gusto as well. And remember, Mudryk is still absent ill and there's no Fofana, so that's why he's not involved either.
Our star man alongside John Murray is Clinton Morrison. Afternoon.
Afternoon, Crossy. How are you?
Very good, thank you. We listened back to Ange Postecoglou's press conference during the second half of the Fulham-Arsenal game. Nobody even asked him about the possibility of Mickey van der Ven playing because nobody thought he was anywhere near.
Yeah, as John said, I was surprised when the team sheets come out. I was like, where's that come from? Because usually the manager would say, or someone would ask, because someone would get a little inkling if he's going to be fit or not. But we hadn't even heard, because there was rumours maybe someone else was going to play centre-half with Ben Davis not being fit, and maybe they were going to make changes. We knew Romero might have a chance because he'd been training, but it's a huge boost for Tottenham. We don't know how fit he will be. They'll have to manage him. I don't think he'll play the whole game, but having him against Nicholas Jackson, one of the informed Premier League strikers, I think it's a huge boost for Tottenham.
As I say, Steve, not even a whisper. You know, I spoke to a few, what we might describe Clinton as Tottenham Hotspur insiders.
Yes.
And unless they were sworn to secrecy, I mean, there was still talk about Archie Gray having to play in central defence. As it turns out, he's not even in the team, he's on the bench.
You know, the thing that I find really interesting, Clinton, is that we're going to hear from Ange Postecoglou shortly, but he keeps talking, Postecoglou, about not being about the short term. You know, I'm about the long term, I'm here for the long haul. You know, it's not about success now, it's about this, it's about that. This feels like a very here and now decision because they're playing Chelsea. There's been no build-up to it. There's been no sort of quiet reintroduction. Van der Ven is just straight in, so it's a risk.
Yeah, it is a risk, and he can keep saying that he's not here for he is here for the short term because it's not long term, because as a Premier League manager, you're judged on the here and now. It's not what you're going to do in a year or 2 years. These Tottenham fans want to start winning trophies, finishing in the top 4, back playing in the Champions League. So no, he can say what he wants. Like, at the moment, it's not going well for him. It's a pressure game for Ange. This is why he's happy. This is, for me, this is probably their best 11, but you can try and fit Maddison into that. I think maybe Maddison, he sacrificed one of the midfielders, either Basuma or Sarr, but this is their strongest team, Tottenham, so he is going for it. And to have Mickey van der Ven, who for me is probably the quickest defender in a one-on-one position in the Premier League, is a huge boost.
But perhaps as well, Clinton, not just a risk with van der Ven, but also a risk with Romero,
both of them,
who I've been told has really not trained properly this week. He's been out for 4 matches, Romero, with a toe injury. So You've got the two of them, Steve.
Yeah, we've also got BBC Sports' Nizar Kinsella alongside John and Clinton. Afternoon, Nizar.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Do you think Ange Postecoglou has made those two decisions because of how important the game is today? Forget anything else. Is this about his position and his situation as much as the opposition?
Yeah, that's a big question. I think, is it a risk as well? Because if these guys get injured during the game, then that just raises the pressure on him, because it adds pressure to the other games that follow this. So, yeah, I think it's rolling the dice, putting your best players on the pitch. They're fit, apparently, and they're going to play. But if something happens during the game, then it's going to only add to the pressure. But if they get through it and Spurs win, then what a masterstroke. It's a bit one of those, isn't it?
And also, Clinton, if we're talking about short-term decisions, I mean, if you're coming up against Nicholas Jackson at the minute, you would take what decisions you need to give yourself the best possible chance. He is on fire.
He is on fire. I think Mickey van der Ven's the one who, out of both defenders, who can stay with him. But Jackson is a handful. But as you say, it's how fit he is. Because once he does that first run into the channel, let me tell you something, Crossy. Training is so different to a match situation. You can ease through training and be comfortable in training. But when you're having a sprint and chase Nicholas Jackson who's running into the channels, it's hard for him. But I think Andrew wouldn't take a big risk if he didn't think he was fit. He's not going to be 100% fit, but he must have done some sort of training to be able to throw him in. But you're right, it's a massive game for Tottenham.
There is one Nizar comparison to be made between Tottenham and Chelsea. They are two young teams. They've certainly got players within them who are dynamic and exciting. I wonder if one of the problems for Ange Postecoglou at the moment is that Tottenham fans might look at these two teams and think, why can't we do what Chelsea are doing?
Well, yeah, I think that's true. I think that Maresca's sort of mastered the sort of managing the youth players. I mean, Chelsea have gone even more extreme down that route. It's like every single player in their squad is under 27. Robert Sanchez is their oldest player, the goalkeeper. So, yeah, I think that's something that Spurs fans will look at. And obviously, Maresca's really popular with Chelsea supporters right now. He just sort of gets it. He gets Chelsea fans. He's an Italian manager. They've had successful Italian managers before. But Ange Postecoglou, he's probably not even doing as badly as some say, because the points total's not awful, but yeah, the league position in itself, the sort of position in the table is. So yeah, I think the Spurs fans, it's partly personal. And I was there in Bournemouth on Thursday night, and it was Ange's sort of relationship with the fans that was in the spotlight after the game when he went over to them and sort of had an argument with a couple of supporters. So yeah, it was quite shocking scenes and made more of a story of a defeat than maybe it otherwise would have been.
Yeah,
well, Steve, just mention this, because we're just watching Chelsea warm up here. You know, having said that Caicedo would play it right back, in the warm up, the coaches are working with just Badiashile, Colwill and Cucurella together, whereas Caicedo has been with the rest of the midfielders.
Yeah,
is that a red herring?
Yeah, I've seen it many a times where a manager tries to throw off the opposition, because the opposition coach will be looking to see how they set up, because you always do that in a warm-up. So it could be. The only other thing you could do is if they play wing-backs, but I know Jadon Sancho ain't going to be wanting to play right wing-back or Neto. They'd rather go forward. So I think it could be a masterstroke from Maresca, but we will see, John, all in good time.
So that would be Sancho and Neto.
Yeah, so I think it will be. Yeah, I think it'll be Caicedo right
back. That'd be quite bold.
Yeah, it would be very bold and attacking.
It's actually bold to move Caicedo out of central midfield as well, Clinton, because he's been phenomenal in there alongside Lavia. It's been a question of whether or not Enzo Fernandez can force his way back into that midfield. So he is playing all three of them. I think some Chelsea fans might say that Caicedo's been the best, so why move him out of position?
I agree. I just think he's trying to fit Enzo Fernandez in. He's coming a bit and he scored a few goals. I get that, and he's the captain at the moment. But for me, Caicedo and Lavia have been... When you go to a place like Tottenham, where Tottenham have the players like the Kulusevskis who can create stuff, I think you need Caicedo in there with Lavia, because you know what he gives you? Legs. Enzo Fernandez, fantastic footballer going forward, but I don't think he gives you the legs. What do you think?
I agree, but I think Caicedo will step into midfield, and then Enzo Fernandez will push on. We've seen Fernandez chipping in with a few goals here and there, 5 assists in 5 games. So I think that formations are fluid now, right? So I think that Lavia and Caicedo will end up alongside each other, certainly when Chelsea have the ball quite a lot today. And for me also, Caicedo, one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. I think the price tag was huge, yes, but he's absolutely performing at the minute. He's up there.
You're spot on. Do you know why, Crossy? We don't talk about the price tag anymore, do we? That's how good Caicedo's been. Before we were talking about how much Chelsea paid for him. We don't do that anymore because that's how good he's been.
So you're saying, Nizar, that Caicedo is effectively going to be not dissimilar to what Porro would do for Tottenham?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So inverted fullback, steps into midfield when Chelsea have the ball, and then without the ball, he's sort of in it right back there, hanging in there. But he's played that role for Brighton as well, so he can do it. It's not a surprise to see him in there.
Yeah, right. Well, Nizar mentioned Andrew Postecoglou's run-in with some Tottenham fans after the defeat at Bournemouth. Let's hear from the Spurs manager. Does he want or need more support, and does he think he's got the fans backing?
I've lived in this world for long enough to know that when people are unhappy, they'll express their opinions. And is it nice? No. I'm not just a manager, I'm a human being like everyone else. It doesn't disappoint me, it doesn't frustrate me, it doesn't make me angry. I'm just as determined as ever. I don't need support, mate. I don't worry about contracts, I don't worry about support. To be honest, if I was worried about my own existence, I would have fought tooth and nail to block Harry Kane leaving the football club, but it wasn't the right decision for the club because he was in the last year of his contract. So that's not what drives me. I just want to make sure that what I set out to do, I accomplish, and that is bring success to this football club. I'll work my backside off to make sure that happens. I'm not going to be deterred in my ambitions or endeavour to do that. And the supporters are the supporters. They're invested in this club. They will feel what they feel, whether they can see what we're trying to do or they can't see what we're trying to do. I can't change that materially without there being evidence on the pitch.
Clinton Morrison, what do you think of that?
Yeah, when I heard it, because I heard it the other day, it frustrates me. Like, you don't need to mention Harry Kane. Harry Kane's gone. You could never have kept Harry Kane. It's not worth speaking about Harry Kane. Speak about the players that you have here and now. Listen, the Tottenham fans, they can voice their opinion. They were frustrated. It's too inconsistent with this football team, and I just think when you look at his interviews now, you look at him and it's like he's distracting himself away from everybody. He should be trying to keep everyone on side. He needs these fans. These are the fans that will determine whether he loses his job or don't lose his job, Crossy. So he should be trying to keep them on side without a shadow of doubt, because these are the ones who pay their hard-earned wages, and these are the fans who want to see the success at the moment. So there is pressure on him, and I think he put himself under pressure when he said, second season, I always win a trophy. I don't think you come out and do that as a manager, Crossy.
We'll come back to this in a second. There's been another goal at the Hawthorns in the Championship. Sarah Mulcairns.
And it's an equaliser. It is West Brom 2, Sheffield United 2. Tom Fellows has been lively all afternoon. It got himself in the area, unleashed a shot, took a deflection and ended up in the top corner, unbeknownst to the Sheffield United keeper Cooper. It's West Brom 2, Sheffield United 2.
Nizar, you've covered football, especially in the Premier League, especially in London, for a long time. So you will know that Daniel Levy might have his faults and he gets criticism from Spurs fans. However, when they show they are unhappy about a manager, he does tend to listen. So is Postecoglou playing a bit of a risky game there?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's making himself the story. He doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens at big clubs, you lose games, but don't make yourself the story. Don't put unnecessary pressure on you and the players, and it just feels like it's amped up before this kick-off here today, based off the back of his press conference, 2 in a row, Bournemouth away, then the one to preview this. So, yeah, I was there at it, and it just feels like not ideal circumstances to come into a game.
I agree with that comment totally. Magnificently. But you know what, Crossy, I just wanted to quickly get this point across.
Yeah.
You didn't ask me usually what I'm doing today. You didn't ask me what I'd been up to. I was a bit disappointed.
What do you mean? I know what you're doing. You're working for 5 Live.
Yeah, but before that we had a great dinner. All my team here, my lovely team, but we had a special guest. You didn't tell about the special guest that we had, did you?
No, I didn't know about your special guest.
Well, you better be nice to me anyway, because we just with one of the big bosses, Tim. We had lunch with him, so be nice to me. I was singing your praises. So
the Director General?
Yes, the big one.
Brilliant.
So let's move on anyway.
So I'm just going to clear my throat and start being all professional now, Clint.
Bring your A game. He's been listening for the last half an hour, but let's carry on.
I haven't told you how good Crystal Palace are this season. Anyway.
Yeah, good man.
John Murray, after everything we've said about Tottenham Hotspur, it'd be just like them to win this afternoon.
Well, honestly, before we got the team news today, just speaking to any number of people who were coming here or who were here for the match, it is just so unpredictable. And you look across the results that they've had this season, and I think not least the fact that it's a fortnight since they produced one of the most jaw-dropping scorelines that we've seen in recent seasons. Manchester City 0, Tottenham 4. After Manchester City had gone 52 home matches without losing over the course of 90 minutes. Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham went there and did that. However, either side of that result, you know how the results have fallen for them. So that is why I think that this has got a little bit of something that is more than the average match that we come to.
And Nizar, just before we let you go, does it not sort of feel like time to stop saying, oh, Spurs, they need to be more consistent? At some point, do you have to look at Tottenham and think, well, this is what they're going to be under Ange Postecoglou?
Well, he's had his first 50 games now. He's had his time to sort of build it up and build it into something, and now it's the time to sort of deliver a little bit. He said he always wins a trophy in his second season as well, so that's another time he's put pressure on himself. But hey, these Spurs fans will forget about everything Ange said before the game. As long as it's 0-0, as long as they're competitive, they'll be fighting for a result. But as soon as Chelsea score, it could turn on him, and that's sort of where we are. That's where this game is. It sits on the knife edge for Ange Postecoglou.
Great stuff, Nizar. Thank you very much. Nizar Kinsella from BBC Sport, who's there in the stadium. John Murray and Clinton Morrison, your commentary team. We've got just over 7 minutes to go until kick-off. Tottenham versus Chelsea. So let's spin it. Chelsea back. Clinton back to Chelsea. We know what will happen if they win today. Enzo Maresca will be asked, now are you title challengers? The thing is, do they actually lack anything? Do they lack any attribute that you would attribute to a title challenger?
I think they don't have a world-class goalie, Crossy. That's the one I think I could say. And defensively, I worry about them defensively. Now that Fofana's injured, and if they had Reece James, I'd definitely say they have a great opportunity. That is the only reason. They're definitely title contenders because where they are. But do I think Chelsea can do it? Not this season, because I think defensively and a world-class goalkeeper, but I think they've got a great chance. They're progressing. The team's at a good age, and I think they've got a brilliant manager who's done well. So they'll finish in the top 4 comfortably, but I don't think they'll win the title this year.
What do they lack? Experience of winning titles.
There you go.
But they certainly don't lack depth, which is normally, Clinton, the first thing you look at. I mean, any team that can have Noni Madueke on the bench.
Yeah, you're right, Crossy. That's what I mean. In the attacking areas, Chelsea you'd say probably have one of the best squads in the Premier League. I just worry about them defensively, but you're right. It's been unbelievable because everyone at the start of the season criticising Chelsea, saying they're bringing in these kind of players. Every player that he's bringing, they're delivering. And now you look at the bench, you've got the likes of Felix, Nkunku, Madueke. These are players that can come on and make an impact. I think the way Maresca's handled the squad has been first class, Crossy.
Do you know what? The oldest outfield player that they've got in the team today is Cucurella at 26.
Wow. Wow. Well, maybe, Clinton, this goes back to the point about Enzo Fernandez. He's a World Cup winner. So is that the point here? Yes, Chelsea's 2 central midfielders, Lavia and Caicedo playing at right back today, we think, have been brilliant, but you need that winner in the team. You have to find a way to get them in.
Yeah, and even though he's at a young age, he's got experience, as you just said. World Cup winner, playing with the best player in the world, in my opinion, in Lionel Messi, learning a lot from all these top players. So I always think that's why, in some games, that's why Enzo Fernandez is in there, for his experience, to help the younger players in and around. But if that is, as John said, Cucurella's the youngest player, they're only going to get better in years to come. I give Chelsea a year, 2 years, they will start winning the Premier League again, that's for sure, Crossy.
Well, that, John Murray, is similar to what Enzo Maresca has said. I think he said he thinks this Chelsea team could dominate football for years to come.
Well, listen, let's
he said it. He did say it.
John, Pep will have something to say with that, won't he?
I was going to, very often we talk about these long-term projects, don't we? And then they get overtaken by events. I mean, about just over a month ago, we thought Manchester City were going to win and win and win and win forever. And then look what's happened. So I don't think we should be looking too far ahead.
Events, dear boy, events, etc., etc. Right, Ange Postecoglou is on his way out, applauding the fans, John Murray.
Yeah, out on his own, as he does normally do. But as he walked out clapping his hands, I thought there was a big cheer for him there. The Tottenham fans have seen him, they know what happened on Thursday night, and he got a warm reception. And actually, here they are, they're singing his song. And he is now on the edge of the coaching area, the long grey hooded coat, and he is applauding them for that.
Well, there you go. A show of solidarity as the players take the field. A reminder of the full-time scores in the Premier League. Fulham 1, Arsenal 1, Ipswich 1, Bournemouth 2, Leicester 2, Brighton 2. We'll bring you reaction to all of those games at half-time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This should be really, really good. It's Spurs against Chelsea with Clinton Morrison and correspondent John Murray.
There is a huge mosaic being unfurled from the Tottenham supporters in purple and white in that massive stand to our right. The teams are walking out here. It is dry, I think, for the time being. It's a cold afternoon. It is cold in the capital. There is a feel of midwinter about it, Clinton Morrison. But and it's been bleak for them since Thursday night, hasn't it? But I think this team news has changed a great deal with Van de Ven and Romero back.
Yeah, these fans would have came in. They would have thought Romero might have played, but Van de Ven coming in, I think it's a huge boost for them. It's their strongest back four that they can put out at the moment. And I think going forward, having Solanke back in, I know he played in the midweek, but he didn't look 100%. Having a few more days of training. It's a big football match for them. It's a London derby. They don't. The fans don't like each other. It's a rivalry, and it's one they want to go home and have the bragging rights, John.
And the purple writing in the mosaic spell out in Latin what is the Tottenham club crest. To dare is to do. And that is a great reminder before a match like this. And that is something, whatever Tottenham fans, some of them, think of Ange Postecoglou, his team certainly dare. And occasionally they do.
They do dare, and they do entertain as well, John. And this will be a very good football match. I think both teams will entertain, and Tottenham need to stand up today. The performance against Bournemouth was nowhere near good enough.
And no sooner do I say that it's dry than another squally shower blows in. The rain is being blown up and down into the bowl of the Tottenham Stadium. The golden cockerel is up there on its plinth, and at the moment the rain is swirling all around it. So here we go. This weekend, as you will be well aware, Liverpool didn't play. Manchester City couldn't win away. Arsenal already today in our earlier commentary match on 5 Live, Arsenal weren't able to win away. Now it's Chelsea's turn. It could turn into a very good weekend for Liverpool.
Yeah, without kicking a ball, you're right. Arsenal dropping points, as you said, Man City dropping points. And if Tottenham can get a result, then Chelsea would be dropping points. So it could be, without Liverpool kicking a ball, getting a fantastic result. But this Chelsea team have been good. John, I don't like to predict this, but there's definitely be goals in this game.
Well, Tottenham-Chelsea here last season was one of the matches of the season. Remember that? When Spurs had started unbeaten under Ange Postecoglou, and Chelsea under Mauricio Pochettino came here and won 4-1. Jackson scored a hat-trick. Udogie and Romero were sent off, and it was one of the nights. Well, listen to this. Genuinely feels as though the trouble and the agony of Thursday night is being swept away here. But now Tottenham have got to do it on the field against Chelsea, who just for the time being at least have dropped down into 3rd place in the Premier League. Tottenham kick off now. Dominic Solanke over the ball in the centre circle. Anthony Taylor is the referee, not Chelsea's favourite, I think it's fair to say. He gets the match underway, and Tottenham in the white shirts with the blue trim, blue shorts and white socks immediately find Van de Ven, rather surprisingly back in the team after 7 matches out, the Dutchman. Long pass forward for him, for Solanke to chase, and Sanchez comes out to the edge of the Chelsea penalty area to volley it away downfield. This is 5 Live from the BBC, and listeners all over the planet join us via the BBC's World Service. You're very welcome here.
And John, there it goes. When they have the ball, Casado goes into midfield. When they don't have it, he goes as a right back, and then they become a free.
Badiashila's given it away. Kulusevski to the edge of the area, plays it to his right. Johnson shoots from the angle, and Kukurea blocks it behind for a corner. I feel that was a huge wasted opportunity.
Yeah, it's poor from Badiashile. Kulusevski's got to shoot. You know why he don't shoot, John? Because he's on his weaker right foot. And then he gives it to Johnson. It's good defending from Cucurella.
Corner is taken short. Kulusevski battling for it, still goes through a couple of challenges, and then able to play across now to Porro. Porro's ball to the edge of the penalty area, and Colwell is able to clear it away, and he's cleared it away to Jackson. Jackson's on the halfway line. What a start this is. 0-0, very early stages. Chelsea breaking downfield. Jackson with a flick back to Palmer. Jackson then makes his run into the box. Fernandez, little chip from him to the left-hand side, where it's taken down by Jadon Sancho, and Chelsea go all the way back towards the halfway line. Also, Sancho on the left-hand side and Neto on the right. And Chelsea again, Fernandez through to Jackson, through the inside left position. Van de Ven's gone with him. It's flicked out to Sancho. Sancho then goes past his man into the penalty area, lays it back to Fernandez on the edge of the box, curling shot. That's blocked away by Porro, and Sancho's going to allow it to spin behind for a corner. Some object has been thrown down towards Jadon Sancho. Not sure what that is.
I think it might be some of the things that little...
Oh, it's the mosaic.
Mosaic that were handed.
So they've scrunched them up.
Scrunched up, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a paper plane as well.
You're not going to be able to come up for air this way this game started, John, so good luck, because it is end-to-end. What a start we've had from both teams.
Yeah, it's a terrific start. And now, now any number of those pieces of paper are being thrown down at Cole Palmer, who's gone across there to take it. I mean, probably
I don't get
10, 15 of them.
John, I don't get it. I literally don't get it.
Stewards have been now dispatched. There are 3 of them in the fluorescent yellow and orange coats. They've and still they're coming down. There's another paper plane that doesn't even reach the plane surface. So Palmer's waiting to take this corner. What a noise there is inside this place. 60,000 people. Palmer pulls this corner out to Fernandez, then back to Palmer again on the left-hand side. Ball across, whizzes across, and it's headed by Colwell in the middle, who couldn't get a proper head to it, just glanced away into the full-back position. Sancho stopped it from going out of play. Tottenham under pressure here. This is one of those matches where first goal is going to be very, very big, and it does feel as though we might not be too far away from it. As Paddy Ashiel now. Chelsea starting with effectively 3 central defenders. Neto down the right, and then Udogie is in for the challenge to put it out for a throw down the right-hand side. Clinton Morrison up here in the excellent commentary position. Clinton, Premier League goal scorer, international goal scorer. Clinton.
It's been a brilliant start, John. You've just been able to come up for air. That's how good it's been. Tottenham had a chance at the other end. Chelsea went down the other end with Jackson. The game's going to be so spread. There's going to be loads of opportunities.
Just felt Kulusevski with the chance that he had. Just felt he should have gone for goal when it opened up. But he looked to play to his right to Johnson. Throw-in is taken by Chelsea and the all-blue kit. Chelsea, who, fans of these two clubs will know very well that for years and years and years now, Chelsea have an excellent record against Tottenham. Tottenham have won one of the last 15 in all competitions, but it goes back much, much further than that as Kukurea slips over. Now Johnson dispossesses him, 10 yards inside the Chelsea half. Johnson across, Solanke at the near post. Brilliant finish. Dominic Solanke. It's flashed past Sanchez. Johnson was all over Kukurea. A crucial slip. And Postecoglou's team have taken full advantage. Early goal, and it's gone to Spurs. 5 minutes on the clock. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0. Solanke's 7th goal for Spurs.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's a mistake from Cucurella. He slips, but Levi Colway can do better than that. But you know what? The movement from Dominic Solanke is outstanding. And he gets a lot of criticism, Brennan Johnson, about picking the right ball. He plays a great ball, but it's all about Dominic Solanke, because Levi Colwell doesn't know he's behind him. The movement's fantastic, and he just guides it into that far corner. I don't know where the goalkeeper's going either, Sanchez, because he got no chance of getting it, but brilliant start from Tottenham.
Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0. Well, ever since Thursday night, there have been a lot of doom-mongers, haven't there, talking about, well, if Chelsea score the first goal. They haven't. Tottenham have. And Ange Postecoglou, no great reaction from him. Not sure we would necessarily have expected there to be a great reaction, but it was just that trademark, one hand in pocket, other arm just punching the air. Nothing over vigorous,
Yeah, no, it was just a fist pump. Then he clapped Brennan Johnson for the good ball into the box. But Cucurella needs to go. I know everyone can slip, but he better be hope he's wearing studs, because he can't be slipping over in those kind of positions, John. But I got to say, the ball's good, but the movement from Solanke is first class.
Fouled by Sarr, so Chelsea with a free kick just outside their own penalty area. So 1-0 Tottenham. Early goal for the neutrals, Clinton.
Yes.
That is very promising. As Chelsea set off again with Sancho through the middle. Here's Fernandez. Back to the left-hand side to Jackson. Still in the box. Right-footed cross. That's headed up and across the area by Udogie. And it bounces out towards the far side. In that 4-1 game last season, Spurs scored first. Kulusevski. Spurs have scored first here. Jackson into the area. Oh, stretching. And then it's played away by Kulusevski to Bissouma, who was fouled. He was fouled. He was getting away there. And the Tottenham fans are paying for a yellow card for Fernandez from Anthony Taylor, who resists whatever temptation there was.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, Romero, I think he's struggling. He just signalled to the bench. After doing that crazy little drag back in his 6-yard box, he signalled over to the bench like he's got a problem. He might be able to continue, but he put his hand up to the bench. I don't know what he's trying to do, a drag back in his own 6-yard box. You're a defender first and foremost. Clear your danger.
Well, we did suggest that this might be a risk, that Romero may have been rushed back here. It was a toe injury that he's missed the last 4 matches with. But having, I mean, Clinton, you tell us.
Yeah,
if you've not trained properly all week,
it's hard, John, to go into a big game like this against one of the informed strikers. I said in training, it's different. Training's so different. It's not as high tempo as match situation. I think he's feeling his thigh there because he keeps stretching his thigh.
Right, we'll keep an eye on him, and as he takes this free kick and passes it to Van de Ven, he threw both of his arms in the air there. I'm not sure that's a great sign either. And Jackson is onto him here, onto Romero, but Romero gets a foot in on this, and then Sarr is dispossessed, and then it's whacked away downfield from Van de Ven. Very nearly put it out on the full down the other end of the field, and Chelsea are back in possession. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0. Ball played back to Sanchez, who has sliced it straight out of play. I mean, I think that came off his shin, out of play for a throw-in 8 yards back from the corner flag.
That is why they won't win the Premier League, because they don't have a goalie you can play out from the back. That is why they keep rotating the goalies, because they don't know who their best goalie is. Jorgensen's a better footballer than Sanchez.
Yeah, Jorgensen played at Southampton on Thursday night. Sanchez coming back in for this one. And Lavia now heading it forward for Chelsea, still inside their own half. Then in the centre circle on Palmer, slides. The excellent challenge from Van de Ven on Palmer. He's such a favourite here, and then Palmer is fouled by Son, and it's a free kick to Chelsea near the halfway inside their own half, near the touchline.
The thing with Mickey Van de Ven, he plays 100 miles an hour, so he's another one who can't ease his way into a game, John, so you have to be careful of him, but he's great to have in your team. You would want him in your team.
Chelsea take the free kick and give it straight back to Son, then Fernandez is quickly in to make sure that Kulusevski can't be found, and chipped forward by Badiashile. Conscious of the fact that it's been such a harum-scarum start. We've not run through the teams again since the start of the match, as Lavia runs into Sarr, and then it bounces away off Solanke, the goal scorer, and Chelsea have it back on the edge of their box. So Spurs with Forster and goal, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven and Udogie, and Sarr and Bissouma with Kulusevski, and Cucurella slipped over again in his own left-back area. Now here's Kulusevski, right side of the penalty area, trying to work a position, left foot shot, oh, he's gone and scored! He's beaten Sanchez in his near post. It seemed that he would go for the far top corner, but he went the other way, down into the bottom right in the bottom corner it went. 2-0 Tottenham, 10 minutes played. What about this for a turnaround?
It's brilliant, and Cucurella is changing his boots. He's looking over to the bench. Well, if your studs or you needed modes, it's poor from Cucurella, brilliant from Kulusevski.
Oh, now, is there a chance that they might have a look at this for offside? because when Kukurea runs across the penalty area, there are a couple of Tottenham players, but I don't think they're in the line.
No, they're outside the post. Son's way outside the post. He's not in the line of Sanchez. That goal will stand.
Clinton, that is some finish from Kulusevski, you know.
It's fantastic, because you know what, John? Really and truly, I'm looking at his position he gets there. I'm thinking bend it into the far corner, and he wrong foot Sanchez, and that's why he beats him at his near post.
Well, Clinton said it. For Kukurea to be caught out for both goals by slipping over, and then immediately in the aftermath of that goal, what happened is Kukurea ran across while Spurs were celebrating, and that's where you saw him talking to the kit man. What a start for Tottenham here, though, and here they come again on the left-hand side with Sarr, Udogie, and then he slips it through to Son, inside the box, back to Udogie, right across the face of goal and beyond the far post. Could easily have been 3-0.
Yeah, I think the linesman might have had his flag up. He might have just been offside, Son, when he made that run. But let me tell you, Chelsea are all over the shop. They make big changes at the back, and this is why I say they can't win the Premier League. And it's not good enough at the back. They are open. Badiashile comes in. For me, not good enough. But credit Tottenham. They've been outstanding so far, John.
Solanke in the 5th minute, Kulusevski in the 11th, and both after slips from Marc Cucurella, the European Championship winning left back with Spain, who, again, Clinton, explain it for the listeners in terms of choosing the wrong footwear.
You know what? If he's got studs on, I get it. He slipped over, but he's slipped once, and then he's done it again. Then he looks at the bench and throws his hands up at the bench like it's someone on the bench's foot. They're not telling you what footwear to wear. If you wanted your boots changed, come off over after the first goal, John. So he's been punished twice.
And he did change his boots.
Yeah, he did change them. Yeah,
so he's changed his boots now after 2 slips that have really cost Chelsea. I'm tempted to say the biggest slips in the Premier League since Steven Gerrard. And Cucurella's done it twice.
He's got to go off Romero. He's just signalled. He's struggling. He's gone. He just signalled to the bench.
He's 10 yards inside his own half over on the far side. He's dropped down onto the pitch. They've already got Dragostin ready, the Romanian who's played in the recent matches, had a little run in the team. The last 8 matches, his longest run in the side, but with Romero and Van de Ven back, he's going to be back into the action with, less than 15 minutes to play. So, they're winning 2-0. Everything in the Tottenham garden is looking much brighter, but this was a big risk with Romero, and it's not come off.
It was a big risk with both centre-halves, but you thought Romero was probably training more. But he's obviously felt something. Maybe it's a different injury, because it don't seem like it's his toe. But yeah, it was a big risk to play both of them, and you never thought that it'd last the game. But yeah, it's a huge blow. But then, they'll be disappointed losing him, but they've started magnificent. If this is how you wanted a response against Bournemouth, they've responded. Chelsea are startled. They can't believe what's happened to them.
5 Live and the World Service from the BBC. If you're on the move this afternoon, absolutely take us with you on BBC Sounds. You don't want to miss this. Solanke and Kulusevski, the goal scorers. And, the Kulusevski finish. Do watch out for this on Match of the Day tonight. You don't often see a goal like that. Not only did he absolutely bamboozle Chelsea, he fooled me, he fooled you, Clinton, possibly. Sanchez clearing it away.
You're right, he fooled all of us, because you know why? It wasn't like it was a quick finish. He just caressed it into that near post. It was a fantastic finish. That's what he did. It went in slow, John, but that's it. That was all about Kulusevski.
Yeah, it was like a reverse shot. It looked as though he'd shoot from where he was, just inside the box, into the top corner with the angle, but he went the other way. Sanchez was wrong-footed, but nevertheless, it was right in the bottom corner.
Yeah,
super finish.
Brilliant.
His 3rd goal of the season. Appeared in all of the matches. He's been, the leading light for Spurs?
Yeah, he's been their best player this season by a country mile. I think he's been outstanding, Kulusevski.
So, Chelsea 2-0 down here and facing what would be only their 3rd Premier League defeat of the season. But here, a long ball for Neto, lifts it forward into the penalty area, but then the recovering defender, Pedro Porro, is able to come back and head it to Fraser Forster, in for the injured Guglielmo Vicario, who will be out for a matter of months after the fractured ankle. Van de Ven plays it back to goalkeeper Forster. So Van de Ven now alongside Dragosin in central defence. As Son forward over the halfway line to Kulusevski. Badiashile slides in, and Badiashile is able to get the ball back and play it all the way back to his goalkeeper. So Chelsea with Sanchez in goal, then these effectively three central defenders, isn't it? With Colwell in the middle, Badiashile on the right, and Cucurella on the left, and Neto and Sancho in the wide positions. Then Caicedo and Lavia, Fernandez pushing forward, Jackson and Palmer as Chelsea come forward with Sancho. Sancho scores! That's a super finish too! From the edge of the day, 2 goals in 2 matches for Chelsea, for Jadon Sancho. They're right back in it, still in the first 20 minutes. Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1 now.
He's definitely got his mojo back. All you need to give Sancho is a bit of loving, and that's what Maresca's done. It's a brilliant goal. I don't understand how Pedro Porro throws him inside. You have to show Sancho on the outside. But once he gets into that, you talk about Kulusevski's finish. This is just as good as Kulusevski's finish. He hits the inside of the post, and Fraser Forster's got no chance. What a finish. What a football match, John.
Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1. In off the foot of the post. That's how precise that finish was from just outside the D. Super strike. On loan from Manchester United. Chosen today ahead of Madueke. He's on the bench for Chelsea, but he's weighing in the young England international. Although it's been a while now, hasn't it? 3 years since he last played for England.
But if he keeps scoring goals like that and keeps producing, it'll give the new manager Tuchel a few headaches, because he has got the talent, Sancho. He just needs to deliver on a regular basis.
Yep. Champions League finalists, don't forget, with Borussia Dortmund last season when he was on loan there, as Cole Palmer is shoved over by Bissouma, gets up, takes the free kick. Chelsea on the move. Well, this has started the nerves jangling for Tottenham supporters, the fact that Chelsea have scored that goal. And now Lavia in the centre circle, back to Cucurella. Then forward towards Jackson. Jackson up against Van de Ven, but Van de Ven shoulder to shoulder, got his foot to that, and it rolls. It eventually out of play, just a few inches away from the corner flag. And then more bits of paper are being thrown down from the mosaics, and Jadon Sancho has actually reacted quite angrily to that. He's picked one up, thrown it back into the stands, and now he's coming across to the referee. I mean, really, I can understand him being upset, because I am guessing he's been hit by one of those.
Yeah, it's frustrating, because you're in the moment, and I know you're not supposed to do it as a player, but it is frustrating when you're getting things thrown at you.
I know it's frustrating, but
you're not allowed to do it, are you, John?
But if you react like that, what's it going to do?
Yeah, it's going to make them want to do it even more. You're right.
Here's Palmer. Palmer now, 2-1 Tottenham lead. Palmer's ball's passed it straight to Bissouma, who turns, gives it to Solanke. That's a good challenge from Lavia, and the ball runs back into the Chelsea half. So 20 minutes played. We've had a little bit of everything in the first 20 minutes. Only 20 minutes. And now Fernandez striding forward with the ball, attacking the Tottenham defence. Sancho's ball across. He's got that all wrong. There were options. Neto was in the middle, Jackson, but it just flew off possibly his shin. Yeah, straight across and behind goal kick.
Yeah, he should have probably have done what he did with the goal, come back in on his right foot. But I tell you, he's causing Tottenham a lot of problems, John. Enzo Fernandez, he's playing in little pockets, getting on the ball, and he's causing Tottenham all kinds of problems. Sarr and Bissouma don't know who to go and pick up out of him and Palmer.
Yeah, he looks excellent, I must say, when he's attacking, getting forward, and that's when Caicedo and Lavia are behind him. There is a choice of listening right now, by the way. Sports Extra has the Champions Cup Rugby Union, where it is Toulouse 54, Ulster 21. Chelsea attacking again. Jackson. Here's Fernandez. Fernandez works across. Palmer missed his kick.
Oh, wow.
7 yards out. I mean, it was a packed penalty area in front of him. As Lavia then upends Kulusevski, who was breaking away, and that is a yellow card for Lavia. He would have been away, Kulusevski, but Palmer there. That's a collector's item, a miss like that from him.
Oh, definitely. It's brilliant play from Jackson and Fernandez, and it comes to Palmer, and he's about 6 yards out, and I think he misses it with his left foot, and it hits his right foot. Yeah, he does. He gets it completely wrong, John. And you're actually looking at him thinking, he's the one player you wanted in that position.
Miss kick from Palmer. Slips from Cucurella. But Jadon Sancho with the goal means that Chelsea are right in this 2-1 Tottenham lead. Son down the left for Kulusevski. Kulusevski's cross is blocked at source by Caicedo, who's back in the right back position. That's what he's got to do. He's got to cover a lot of ground here in this role. But it is a Tottenham corner. 2-1. So Solanke and Kulusevski with the goals that saw Tottenham open up a 2-goal lead. Super finishes, both of them. Likewise, Jadon Sancho. 3 very good goals. Corner from the left. Son waiting to take this. One of the players who has come into the starting lineup, the captain, Son. Right foot to the near post, and then it's headed away for Chelsea. Back to Son, who jumps for it, heads it down. Kulusevski taking it to the byline. A flick from him. Very nearly got past Neto. Neto touched it well. He was not to be beaten. And he plays it away downfield, where Chelsea are on the move with Jackson, but Udogie stepped in, and it was 3 against 3 there for a moment. And now Udogie is able to get the ball back from Sarr. Now Johnson back to Udogie. Udogie stops it on the dead ball line. Chelsea give it away, give it back to Johnson. The cross comes over. Sanchez is nowhere. Taken down at the back post and cleared away by Caicedo. And now Chelsea could be off on the counter-attack here. But it's played back by Neto, who checked himself, played it back to Caicedo. He plays it centrally. Fernandez jumping for that, but Porro's able to win that, and he goes all the way back to Forster at the other end. From the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London, let's go to the Hawthorns. Sarah Mulkerrins.
It's ended West Brom 2, Sheffield United 2. Hegem opened the scoring for the host before O'Hare and Campbell turned the game on its head with 2 quick goals. Fellows did pull one back for West Brom to end level. Neither side able to find the winner. Sheffield United go top 2-2 it ended.
Son into the penalty area with a curler. That was just over the far top corner. Tottenham on the break. Kulusevski played in Son, and that was so close to a 3rd goal for Spurs again.
Both teams don't defend. It's just that you attack, we attack. It's like a basketball match. It's brilliant again. Son, you know what it is? Caicedo's getting too tight to Son, so he wants to dive in because he's not a natural right back. Son flicks it round the corner, and Solanke does well, and he rolls him in. And you're thinking you've seen that many seasons, him bending that into that far corner. Great opportunity. Good play again from Tottenham.
So we're only just past the midway point of the first half. We've had 3 good goals, Clinton. We've had chances missed at both ends, Son and Palmer. We've had Romero having to go off with an injury, so Dragusin has come on for him. We've had Cucurella's 2 slips. We've had him changing his footwear. What else have we had? We've had the paper planes being thrown down and the scrunched up pieces of paper at the Chelsea players. As now Tottenham, the progress is stopped as Son is thundered into by Caicedo. He's not very big, is he, Caicedo?
No.
I'm not sure he'll be 5'10".
But I tell you what he is, he's aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's what he's trying to do to Son. He's like, I can't beat you in a race, so when you get the ball, I'm going to go as close as I can to you and not let you turn. But before that, John, when it was 3-on-3, Jackson has to do better. He has to roll in Sancho.
As Badiashile wins a header quite forcefully against Solanke, who ends up on the ground. And as he climbs to his feet, he looks across at Anthony Taylor, and he's got his gloved hands, palms apart, saying, what about that? And then Udogie takes another throw in to Solanke, who is again challenged by Badiashile.
And Doggie's not helping him though, John. He keeps playing it to his head, play it to his feet.
Come on, let's have a hat-trick.
There you go.
He's thrown it to Solanke again. Down the line this time though. Badiashile leaning into him, and then Caicedo helps him out. And referee Taylor has brought it back for the free kick for Badiashile's manhandling of Solanke.
You know what? It's no rocket science, John. If you throw it to his feet, he'll be able to hold the defender. If you throw it at his head, and then it's easy for Badiashile, but it's silly defending from Badiashile. He wants to get tight, show his strength. Doesn't need to foul Solanke there.
So it is a free kick to Tottenham that they take quickly. Udogie back to Son. Son thought about curling it into the penalty area, but goes back to Van de Ven. Now here's Dragusin, the substitute. Hit that with a bit of pace out to Johnson. He created the opening goal as well, brilliantly for Solanke. I'm not sure I mentioned that in the up-sum. Now, great work, Porro and Johnson, deflected. Kulusevski, it bounces away from him against Badiashile, and actually the referee says that it struck the arm of Kulusevski as it rattled back onto his body, and it's a free kick to Chelsea inside the wrong penalty area.
John, you're right. He gets criticised a lot, Brennan Johnson, about not doing enough. He's done enough so far in this short space of time. He's caused Cucurella all kinds of problems. Gets too tight, it's quick enough, can spin him behind. Another good ball into the box. Him and Kulusevski have started ever so well.
Well, if you've just switched on to 5 Live, Tottenham winning 2-1 against Chelsea. This has been an absolute treat so far. You've missed 26 minutes of a real thriller of a London derby here on this cold, stormy Sunday afternoon in December, and Chelsea playing the ball back towards the edge of the area. Colwill is there. Fofana out injured for a little while. Badiashile then passes it forward. Neto goes for a first-time left-footed ball that he just lands for Jackson up against Dragosine. The two of them together. Jackson goes down. No free kick, says Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, he gets that wrong.
Jackson can't believe it. He's sitting on the ground with his hands on his head. And then the crossfield ball towards Sancho. That's headed away by Porro. Comes out to Cucurella.
John, there's no difference between Badiashile one here and the Jackson one. That's the consistency with the refereeing.
As I say, that will have not gone unnoticed by the Chelsea supporters in their section on the far side, around the corner of the stadium. As Neto comes in field, he was tripped by Udogi, went sprawling down, felt the contact, went down, got the free kick, and this is in a dangerous position. In the Champions Cup, Toulouse 54, Ulster 21. That's on Sports Extra. Also Ospreys 25, Lions 7. Half-time, we'll have more on the earlier matches. Arsenal 1-1 at Fulham. Thought they'd got a late winner. It was ruled out. Ipswich 1, Bournemouth 2. A late-ish winner for Bournemouth. And Leicester coming from 2-0 down to draw 2-2 with Brighton. Rangers 3-0 winners at Ross County. And we've heard West Brom 2, Sheffield United 2. So, free kick. Good position. Palmer. It could be the one that just drops in on his left foot, or it could be a curler, an outswinger from Fernandez. Let's see, both of them, they're talking to one another over the ball. It's about 7 or 8 yards outside of the penalty area. Fernandez now does play it into the back post. It's beyond everyone and will roll away out of play off the corner flag. And it's a goal kick to Tottenham. 2-1.
I don't think Chelsea are a threat from set pieces, because I think Diassi's their best. I'm not sure about Badiashile and Colwell attacking it.
Yeah, Disassi is on the bench as well today as Cucurella wins the ball back in good fashion. He's got a little bit of ground to make up in this match after his slips led to the opening goals. As Cucurella was caught there, Chelsea might have been away on the counter-attack, but he was caught. The ball had long gone, I think, when Sarr came in with the challenge on him, and Anthony Taylor is actually pointing to another part of the pitch and saying that this is an accumulation of fouls which has led to this yellow card for the Tottenham midfielder.
I get it, but they had the ball and they were breaking. Why doesn't he stop and go back and then book him? Just give them an advantage. Now they've got no advantage, Chelsea. He's not started brilliantly, Taylor, and I do like him as a referee, but he's got to improve.
Yeah, again, all of those thousands of faces in the Chelsea section will be discussing exactly that, as Badiashile misplaces his pass to Neto, and they've stayed, incidentally. Neto's stayed on the right, Sancho's stayed on the left as they started the match. Almost half an hour played as the turn from Solanke but into Neto, still halfway inside the Chelsea half. Neto's able to find the pass infield to Lavia. Now a turn in the centre circle from Jackson up against Dragosine. Fernandez plays it to Sancho. Sancho's up against Porro. In fact, goes for the early pass to Jackson. Then back behind Fernandez, and it's cleared away inside the penalty area, as another part of that mosaic was thrown down well into the penalty area as Chelsea were looking to shoot, and then a foul for Spurs centre field. In fact, it's not given. Play is allowed to continue. Here is Bissouma now to the right hand side, and Tottenham actually with Kulusevski, who just bided his time there, and then loses out for a decision on a throw in. That's enraged the Tottenham fans now, that Spirits are running high here through the middle of Palmer. He's got space. That could cause trouble. Palmer with a shot. Saved by Forster. Comes out to Neto. Lovely turn of feet. Saved by the goalkeeper's foot from Neto. And that's a very fine double save from Forster.
How can you let Palmer pick the ball up and not one Tottenham defender go to the ball? But it's brilliant from Fraser Forster. Palmer picks it up, makes a save, comes to Neto. He comes onto his left foot. Another big save from Fraser Forster. John, this ain't staying this scoreline, that's for sure.
What a game this is. A couple of really important saves there. You're absolutely right, Clinton. I mean, that is the question. How can Tottenham give Palmer space like that there? They are very fortunate that he didn't take advantage of that and make it 2-2.
Yeah, you're right. It's a good save. It's a big save.
Colwell's in danger of losing it in the centre circle, but he stood up strong against Solanke just when it looked as though Solanke was going to take that away. But played it back to the goalkeeper, who launches it downfield. Half an hour played. I say a stormy afternoon. It's not as stormy as it was yesterday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
I went to watch Harrogate Town against Wimbledon yesterday. Forster playing the ball out to Neto, but Basuma did well, and now Son is strongly challenged by Caicedo. Oh, and then Caicedo goes in. That was... They were coming in at pace there. Sarr had already gone to ground, and Caicedo could be in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, because he caught Sarr. If Sarr had caught Caicedo, he would have got a second yellow, but it was Caicedo that caught Sarr, and it looked really aggressive. But I think the referees just give the free kick.
I've got a feeling this might not look great on the replay. He's going to get red carded.
He's going to get red. If they VAR don't have a look at that, he's caught Sarr high up.
No, I think he's going to be sent off by that. Is he not?
No, he's letting play on.
Free kick. I mean, VAR will be having a look at this.
Yeah, but they would have told him to not continue there, John, and he's letting play on. Wow.
Wow, that must make a note of that, in amongst everything else.
You know what? I can understand it's the tackle and his missed timing, but I've seen players sent off for that, John. So you just want the consistency. I don't like any players to be sent off, but I can't believe it. It's high. Do you know what? It's not. It's not a force.
Not enough force.
Not enough force. It kind of clips the top of his ankle. But it's a yellow card, definitely, John. But they can't get involved with a yellow card. Right decision then.
Yeah. I didn't need to tell you.
No, you didn't. I know that. I've worked with you long enough. You always correct me, mate.
Yeah. And listen, our initial feeling, and that could be one where you actually see the slow motion, the replay in slow motion, and it looks worse than it is. So I would retract and go back and say I think they've got that right. Son with this corner, hits the crossbar. Sarr with the header. Oh, that was close.
You're right, John. There's a good ball in this. Sarr, he's 2 yards out. I think he's just stretching, leaning back, and he hits the top of the bar. But they're not good at defending set pieces, Chelsea. I don't see a commander or a leader in the back line who can go and attack the ball.
Sarr hits the bar. Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1. What was he, 6 yards out? Got up well. Given away by Sanchez. Tottenham are back in business. Son in the area. Son's ball across. Flick from Solanke, and it's straight at the goalkeeper, who can very gratefully collect. It was slightly behind him, and he couldn't get his feet right, and just really deflected it straight at the goalkeeper. And now Chelsea on the break, but Fernandez slips over. It's catching.
It is catching. It is. It must be slippery. The surface must have changed from the warm-up. But yeah, there's a good opportunity for Solanke. But Sanchez again, terrible at playing out from the back. I don't know why they do it, the goalkeepers, when you can't do it. If you can't do it, don't try and attempt it. You're putting your team into trouble.
2-1 to Tottenham. Chelsea come again. 10 minutes to go. Neto down the right. Neto against Udogie. That's well defended by the Italian international, the Tottenham left back, who's able to take the ball off Neto and give it to Son. And then Son rolls the pass forward to Kulusevski, and then Kulusevski looking to give it back to Udogie, and now Udogie's out of position. It's bounced forward to Neto, so Bissouma had to come across. Neto gives it to Fernandez just forward of the centre circle. Fernandez, that right wrist strapping on him again, then to Palmer. Palmer's dragged it back into the path of Kulusevski, and then Tottenham have got the ball back again on the edge of their penalty area, but Son couldn't keep possession. Palmer then plays it to Sancho. He allows it to roll out into the full-back position. Now Sancho against Porro. Back to Palmer, edge of the area. Puts his foot on the ball. Stands up on it into the penalty area. And then gives it back to Sancho. Palmer's made a run, but I think Tottenham have now got themselves back in position here. They were stretched there. Sancho again for Palmer. Palmer's ball across. Oh, half cleared away towards the edge of the penalty area in a stretch by Neto to keep possession. Tottenham are clinging on here. It feels as though another chance is going to come Chelsea's way any moment. Neto, then to Lavia. All of that hair of his tied up on the top of his head. Lavia, the number 45, former Manchester City youngster. Still very, very early days of his career for the 20-year-old with the injuries that he's had. And then Cucurella goes back to goalkeeper Sanchez, who's had some very shaky moments. Goalkeeper Sanchez, Neto coming back from an offside position. Free kick to Tottenham, and it is Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1.
That was a good chance, John, you know, when Cole Palmer got down the side. Do you know why? Nicholas Jackson runs ahead of the ball. He's got to hold his run.
Ball bounces for Lavia, who plays it back into his own half. I mentioned the fact that we'd not heard a whisper about Mickey van de Ven. A friend of mine who does Fantasy Premier League said it was the talk of Fantasy Premier League this morning that Van de Ven might be in the team.
I've given up on that. I still do it, but yeah.
Well, if you did it, you might have heard that.
Yeah, I did hear it. I heard it, but I didn't believe it,
no.
John. I did not believe it.
Yeah, so it had leaked out somewhere. I don't know how it leaks to the Fantasy Premier League world, but that's the world in which we live. Here's Barry Ashiel. Back to Sanchez. Oh, Sanchez has given it away again, but Sarr couldn't take it on. However, here's Udogie to Kulusevski. Kulusevski in space, but he was quickly closed down by Fernandez. Ball now in the Chelsea right-back area. And that's given away by Udogie. He's passed it straight to Jackson, and Jackson's on his own, but Neto's now there to his right. Neto receives it from the Chelsea centre forward, and then back from Neto to Jackson, who shoots across goal, and it comes off the calves of Dragusin right across the face of goal for what is Chelsea's first corner of the match, rather surprisingly.
It's crazy, like, you're thinking you're in good positions and then you give the ball away. And Sanchez again, for the life of me, I don't know why he's trying to play out from the back. No disrespect, he's not good enough. I've seen it the whole day, I've seen it throughout the whole season. Just go back to front. I don't know why they keep trusting him to play out from the back.
Yeah, what am I talking about? It's their third corner, Chelsea. And of course they've had corners.
Palmer, you're throwing the stuff.
And become discombobulated by the drama. And now again, it's Fernandez this time who's gone across to take this corner. And again, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of paper, scrunched up paper that's throwing down, but Fernandez is doing the right thing. He's just ignoring it. Fernandez takes the corner into the near post. Solanke gets up there to head it out for a throw on the far side. So 2-1 it is. Tottenham were 2-0 up inside 11 minutes. Solanke and Kulusevski. But then crucially, 7 minutes later, Jadon Sancho scored. Second goal of the week, second goal for Chelsea. And so it's a real contest, this. Chelsea, I don't care what people say, they are right now challenging for the title.
1,000,000%, John, you're spot on. Of course they're challenging.
Whether they're able to sustain it is another matter.
Definitely.
But they are challenging for the title, so this is vitally important to get something here. And Liverpool, their supporters will be watching and listening on, hoping that they very much don't. And it's out of play for a throw into Tottenham halfway inside their own half. I mean, there's enough to fill all of tonight's Football Daily podcast already from this match alone, and a Monday night club as well tomorrow. And we've got a big game tomorrow night, isn't it, between West Ham and Wolves. We'll update that during the course of Mark Chapman and the team's discussion. Son infield towards Udogie, still inside the Tottenham half, but over the halfway line he goes and then passes it straight into the path of Lavia for Chelsea. Colwill forward now to Jadon Sancho, drags the ball back. That's good seeing Jadon Sancho doing that. You know, that's a confident footballer in a good environment. Caicedo back in the centre circle. That is another question, by the way, with Jadon Sancho, with Ruben Amorim now in position at Manchester United, on loan here. Change of scene at Old Trafford.
he goes back there, he can be one of them number 10s how they want to play, for sure.
Here's Palmer. Now Palmer, that's a lovely ball into the path of Jackson. Jackson shoots over as Dragusin came across and slid into him. The two of them came together, and it's actually taken a deflection off the Tottenham man from the Jackson shot and over the bar. And that is excellently defended by the Romanian.
Yeah, it's brilliant defending from, and he doesn't get out of his feet enough, but credit Dragusin, who's just come in the last 15 minutes. It's brilliant defending, but Cole Palmer again in them spaces, John. I don't know how Tottenham are letting him get into these spaces.
So it is corner number 4. Toulouse have beaten Ulster by 61 points to 21, and Ospreys have won 30-14 against the Lions. It's the first corner from the right-hand side, so this means a completely different section of Tottenham supporters who've been waiting and waiting with all of their pieces of mosaic scrunched up, ready for Chelsea to win a corner, and now we've got more than ever before being thrown down from the lower sections of the big stand to our right. Stewards are there, and now one's hit the assistant referee because he's had to come across and stand in front of Palmer, who was ready to take it anyway. Although in saying that, in the penalty area, Anthony Taylor's got almost all of the players gathered around for a chat, and we're waiting. What a carry-on this is, honestly. Honestly, Clinton.
I don't understand. What do you get out of doing that? I don't understand.
Well, you're stopping the match.
Yeah, you're stopping the match. Okay, but it's going to be added on, isn't it, John?
Well, I hope so. They can add on as much as they like to this.
Yeah, of course they can. Definitely. Don't ever end the game. It's been that good.
Yeah. I hope it carries on like this in the second half.
Well, yeah, we'll have to, because Chelsea, if it goes in 2-1, we need to get an equaliser.
Right, we're ready now. Although I suspect more pieces of paper will come down. Palmer plays it into the near post. He actually went for it, you know. He went to swing it in at the near post, and Tottenham had to be sharp. Solanke headed it away. All the Chelsea players were beyond the far post, Arsenal style. And Fernandez, near the halfway line, is actually going to volley it all the way back to goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. What do you think he should do, Maresca? Stick with Jorgensen?
I like Jorgensen. If you're going to play out from the back, then why are you not playing him? I know Sanchez is a good shot stopper, but nowhere near it playing out from the back, John. Like, too many times. He's given Tottenham like 2 or 3 golden opportunities so far, and they haven't punished him.
However, he knows his own mind, Maresca, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Lavia now through the middle. Sancho coming in field. Middle of the half, Palmer. Now to the right-hand side, Fernandez's ball across, and Van de Ven under his feet. He's able to put it out behind for...
And what is it? A corner again? So what's going to happen now, John, again?
Yes. Once again, Clinton, you've proved to be someone who can look into the future.
Mystic.
Mystic. Morrison.
Here we go.
To corner for Palmer. And many of them, and there's a huge one, lands right in front of the ball, and then another one lands in the quadrant. Palmer ignores it, left-footed corner, looking for Badiashile, who might have been fouled there by Van de Ven. Tottenham were able to clear it away. There was definitely wrestling going on there. Palmer swings it into the back post, headed back across, almost reached Badiashile. Cucurella now in the D, square, back to Cucurella from Sancho. Cucurella goes for goal, that's the wrong decision. And he's lifted it high over everyone in the box and the crossbar. Goal kick to Tottenham, who lead 2-1. Tottenham with just 1 win in their last 6 matches, and they are looking for a potential...
No, that's when they checked
that's
it.
An explanation.
Yeah.
That's an explanation of why Caicedo didn't receive a red card, but we've explained that to you already. Here's Lavia. Lavia now to Jackson just outside the area. He's challenged, bounces back to Lavia. Caicedo on the right-hand side. Caicedo, initially we thought that might have been a case for a red card, but we feel the officials got it right because of the lack of force from the Caicedo challenge. You can judge that for yourself. Match of the day tonight. Caicedo swings it all the way across. Sancho, quick feet from him, puts his foot on the ball, gives it to Palmer in the D. Palmer picks out the pass to Neto, but it bounced either off him or the foot of the defender. Back to goalkeeper Forster.
He's
2 minutes.
Yeah, I can't believe
2 minutes of added time.
When he's 2 minutes, it nearly took 2 minutes for Cole Palmer to take that last corner.
Well, when I assured you that they would add that time, we've had a long stoppage for the 2 injuries to Romero. It has to be more than 2 minutes. Son, forward to Kulusevski. goes to swing it across. He was looking for Johnson, but he didn't have his sights quite right there, and just effectively passed it straight to Sanchez, who was able to come out and catch it near the edge of the penalty spot. At half-time, we're going to hear from a variety of footballing personalities as Lavia is caught now by Kulusevski. Took a little while to go down, but it's a free kick to Chelsea halfway inside their own half. So it gives me time to tell you that we will hear from Mikel Arteta after their 1-1 draw at Fulham, Arsenal, and Ruud van Nistelrooy as well after his Leicester team came back from 2-0 down to draw 2-2 with Brighton. We're also going to hear from the McLaren boss Zach Brown, because if you weren't listening earlier, the big issue today at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix was who would win the Constructors' title, and it was won by McLaren. Race was won by Lando Norris. You can hear all of the fallout from that from the Checkered Flag podcast. Likewise as well, don't miss it, Test Match Special podcast after England's whopping win, Clinton, in Wellington.
Yeah, I tried to stay up all
yeah?
night to watch, and you know I love my cricket, but
yes,
I knew they were flying, to be fair. Unbelievable bowling and batting.
Yeah, what a win that was. So 2-0 up in the 3-match series. As Barry Shields' pass gives Palmer absolutely no chance. Not even Cole Palmer can do anything with that. And it's out for a throw-in. Lavia's okay. I think he might have just got a flying finger in his eye or something like that. And that's half-time. And Postecoglou turns, walks away down the tunnel. Enzo Maresca just behind him. Well, pick the bones out of that, Clinton Morrison. 2-1 to Tottenham. Spurs leading 2-0 through Solanke and Kulusevski. Sancho got one back, but much more besides.
We haven't got long enough to talk about that first half, but it was a fantastic first half. Obviously, Tottenham started off brilliantly, getting the 2 goals, and you needed a response. Chelsea did get a response, and probably could be going in level at half-time. The one opportunity I can think is Cole Palmer with the big opportunity from 5 yards out. You expect him to score, but he'll have a big say in this game in the second half. But what a game of football we've seen in the first half, John.
Yeah, it is brilliantly poised, isn't it? With this scoreline, with everything else. And the scoreline is Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1.
Oh, Clinton, there is not even a fraction, an ounce, a touch of control about this game, and as a neutral, I am all for it.
So am I. All for it, Crossy. It's a fantastic, just to be here in this atmosphere as well. And the football is so open. Both teams are so open. Like, they open the midfield and there's so much time and space, and you can cause problems. You can see Caicedo's not a natural right back, because every time Son gets the ball, he goes so tight. Son plays inside and goes past him, and they're opening them up. Kulusevski's causing problems. Solanke's been a threat, holding the ball up and getting his goal. It's been a really good football match.
And also, as a neutral, it's good to have 2 teams with 11 men on the pitch when a game is as good as that. And I tend to agree with you, having just looked at another replay. If Caicedo kind of puts his body into that challenge, if you like, he probably goes. But the contact when it comes is high. It is also fleeting.
Yeah, it's fleeting. It's not, if it's forced, Crossy, and he really goes through him, then I think VAR look at it and give him a red card. But when we see it again and you slow it down, it's like he kind of clips it a little bit, and it's not with the force. So I think Anthony Taylor and the VAR get it wrong. They get a lot of criticism, but I think they get that spot on.
It feels so strange, John, watching Tottenham at the minute, because they go 2-0 up. It could easily have been 3-0, and yet they are fragile and they are open, and they're not on their own there either.
No, they're not. But on days like this, it makes them brilliant to watch. So therefore, should they be cut more slack by their supporters? Should they? Although they've lost
Not
6
when they're
matches
11th
in the
league, probably.
Lost 6 matches in the Premier League and are in the bottom half of the table.
But you know what it is, John? When they play the teams like the Man City's, Chelsea's, that's when they turn up. And there's no disrespect to the lesser team. That's when the fans are disappointed, because they don't turn up. And that happened against Bournemouth in midweek.
Cracking half, and I'm sure the second half will be just as good. Thank you both. So Tottenham leading Chelsea in the Premier League by 2-1 at half-time. Full times in the Premier League. Fulham 1, Arsenal 1, Ipswich 1, Bournemouth 2, Leicester 2, Brighton 2. In the Championship, it finished West Brom 2, Sheffield United 2. Scottish Premiership, Ross County 0, Rangers 3. The Women's Super League, Manchester United 4, Liverpool 0, Spurs 2. Everton 1. We will bring you as much reaction as we possibly can. We'll speak to Robbie Savage as well ahead of 6:06. The lines are open, 08085 909 693. Let's get the news on 5 Live with Alison Hughes.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. There have been celebrations on the streets of Syria following the fall of the country's leader, Bashar al-Assad. It isn't clear where the now former president is, but his key backer, Russia, says he's resigned and left the country. This evening, Syria's Islamist rebel leader addressed crowds inside the historic Umayyad Mosque after his forces entered Damascus, bringing to an end 5 decades of Assad family rule. Many countries have reacted to the events in Syria with caution. For the UK, Sir Keir Starmer welcomed the end of what he called Assad's barbaric regime, but he stressed the need for stability. The UN's Special Envoy for Syria, Geir Pedersen, has appealed for peace.
All armed actors on the ground maintain good conduct, law and order, protect civilians, and preserve public institutions. Let me urge all Syrians to prioritize dialogue, unity, and respect for international humanitarian law as they seek to rebuild their society.
Crowds of refugees who left Syria to escape the civil war have been gathering at border crossings, hoping to return home. Nafise Kukhnavad from the BBC's Persian service met some of them on the Lebanon-Syria border.
There was conflicting feeling. I asked everyone, how do they feel? Some people said they are just absolutely happy, they just want to go back home. But some were saying the situation is not clear for them. They are happy that Bashar al-Assad is gone finally after years, but they are not sure that what is going to happen next.
In other news, Donald Trump has said he plans to end the constitutionally protected right to US citizenship for anyone born in the country. In a TV interview, he also said he intended to pardon rioters who were jailed for storming the US Capitol after his 2020 election defeat. And Scottish Labour has suspended the leader of Edinburgh City Council, Cammy Day, while police investigate an allegation of inappropriate behaviour. The Sunday Mail claimed he'd bombarded 2 Ukrainian refugees with social media messages asking sexually explicit questions.
Of all the wonderful places in the world, one continent holds more riches than any other.
On BBC iPlayer.
If you think you've seen the best the natural world has to offer, think again.
Asia with David Attenborough.
There's nowhere else on Earth with so many untold stories.
Watch on BBC iPlayer. This is 5 Live Sport.
With Steve Cross.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
In the Premier League, it is Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1. Great first half, second half on the way. Arsenal missed the chance to reduce Liverpool's lead at the top to 4 points. They were held to a 1-1 draw at Fulham. Bukayo Saka thought he scored a late winner, but it was ruled out by VAR for a tight offside. Here's Mikel Arteta.
Well, very disappointing not to win it because I think we fully deserve to earn the 3 points from the start to the end. And the way we played, the way we dominated the game. But this is the Premier League. They had one shot, scored 1 goal, and from there on, you have to play a different game, obviously. And we tried our best, generating much more in the second half than in the first one, obviously. And I love the way the team tried, the way the team find ways to create threat and difficulties to opponent, because I know how difficult it is to do against them. And then it's the smallest margins to win or not win in this league. And when you think, that you have won it, they are taking it away from you with the VAR because of the offside, and that's a difficult one to take.
In terms of title race, you feel like you probably let Liverpool away with a missed opportunity?
We have 1 more point, 1 less game, and in the position that we are right now, we want to continue to win. We play today to win. There is no question about that. You see how the team is chasing until the last second. But again, for those small margins, we were unable to do it.
That's Mikel Arteta with George Cummins. Leicester produced a stunning comeback to maintain new boss Ruud van Nistelrooy's unbeaten start. They drew 2-2 with Brighton. Jamie Vardy scored in the 86th minute, his 6th of the season, and he then assisted Bobby D Cordova-Reid for the equaliser. That means Leicester are 5 points above the relegation zone. Here is boss Van Nistelrooy on what Vardy brings to his team.
You can see it. He's also, of course, with his experience, he's not affected by scores or by pressure or by whatever things that make other people nervous, maybe. And he leads a team in that way. And I think from back to front, players were pushing and keep going, because we said to each other before I started last week that the most important thing is that we go from first to last minute, whatever the score will be. And that's the standard, and that's what we want to do, and they kept doing that. And then they also today they felt when you do that, then we have qualities coming off the bench and from our starters that can make the difference and change the game in a matter of minutes, and we did.
And in the day's other Premier League game, Bournemouth came from 1-0 down with 5 minutes to go to beat Ipswich 2-1 at Portman Road. That means Ipswich are 18th on 9 points. They are 4 points from safety. 08085 909 693. The lines are open for 606 with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. Afternoon, Rob.
Afternoon, Steve. Enjoy the first half commentary. Very good, Clinton and John.
Remarkable game, that, isn't it? It's one of those days where when I ask you, what do you want people to talk about, the next 45 minutes are going to answer that question.
Yeah, we'll finish with that game, but obviously Leicester, that's 4 points from 2 games for Ruud van Nistelrooy. A lot of people on 606 Leicester fans wanted to change. Are they happy with Ruud? I'm sure they are. What a win for Bournemouth. Ipswich, 1-0 up, losing 2-1. What a win. Arsenal, they're becoming Stoke City, Steve, aren't they, with all set pieces? Unbelievable. Yeah. But what they've done, they should have won that game today. They controlled possession. I thought they were very good. But Fulham under Michael Silva doing unbelievably well. And on this game, it's so open, as Clinton says. What about Cucurella changing his boots? He's been on the floor more times than Clinton Morrison was at Birmingham's training ground when I used to throw him around for answering me back. Yeah.
Would you say that if he was here with us at this moment?
Yeah, he knows. He knows. I'm sure he'll have a reply.
What about Dan Ashworth, Robbie, as well? Man United fans
might seen that. Yeah. I was with Dan Ashworth in a Wales under-21 game. His son plays in the same team as my Charlie, and I had a fantastic 15-20 minutes with him. This was about 2 months ago. Speaking very highly. And listen, I like Dan Ashworth. So again, 5 months was it to get him, and then only 5 months in the job. Yeah. It is a strange one. But what a game! Chelsea I don't think Spurs can win the league playing like this. Listen to John saying, and Chris. We know Chris is a Nottingham Forest and a Spurs fan. So his Spurs, winning this game, but they're so inconsistent, aren't they? Spurs fans do enjoy entertaining football, but they are. As it stands, they're 9th. They're up to 9th. Spurs fans playing entertaining football. But if you walk in the boardroom on a Monday morning, you get beat, and the board aren't going to say, "Well, I'll tell you what, it was entertaining," but we're still in the bottom half of the table. 08085 909 693. I'm sure Clinton will come back, Steve.
I'm sure he will as well. He's always listening. Thank you very much, Robbie. The lines are open now for 606. If you missed the story earlier, Dan Ashworth, sporting director at Manchester United, or at least he was. He's left his role after only 5 months. Manchester United statement said, "We'd like to thank Dan for his work and support during a transitional period for the club. We wish him well for the future." They say mutual agreement. And West Ham striker Michail Antonio has undergone surgery on a lower limb fracture following his car accident yesterday. The club say he'll be monitored in hospital over the coming days. They also extended a heartfelt thank you to the emergency services and first responders who tended to him. Let's move into the WSL. There was a full programme of fixtures this afternoon. Scores: Manchester City 4, Leicester 0, Spurs 2, Everton 1, Chelsea 4, Brighton 2, Arsenal 4, Aston Villa 0, West Ham 4, Crystal Palace 2. Manchester United thrashed Liverpool 4-0. Manager Mark Skinner was asked for his reaction to owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe once again saying the men's team is his main issue.
You'll notice this is coming, this question, but there was some talk from some of those up higher up about where the women's teams go as priorities are concerned. Has that at all been something that's been a motivator for you and the players today?
I'm sure you can imagine that my sole focus as manager is Liverpool.
And right now, I don't know really any. I don't have social media. I don't read social media, so I don't know. I'm sure this week will unfold as it needs to unfold. But from my perspective, I'm really proud of the team. I'm really proud of the performance, and that's what my focus is. And I'm glad the team today have put in the performance like that, because it shows just how a huge part of this club we are.
That's Mark Skinner speaking to Sani Rudravajula. McLaren secured their first Formula One Constructors title for 26 years after Lando Norris won the final race of the season in Abu Dhabi. Norris finished above Ferrari's Carlos Sainz in second. Charles Leclerc was third. Here's McLaren CEO Zak Brown.
Team's been perfect. And I know that doesn't mean every lap's been perfect. This team's been perfect. We've been better than everybody else. And we've got awesome competition. Huge congratulations to Ferrari. It's been a while since they've been here too, and I can't think of a better team to fight down to the last lap than Ferrari, and hats off to them.
It's a dream though, isn't it? Because you look at the progression and all of a sudden you've got there so fast, it seems like. It's a whirlwind.
It's our people. It's a people business. It's our people that make our technology. It's our people that drive the cars. It's our people that design our strategy and our commercial department and our HR. It's our people, and they want it for us tonight.
And it's going to go home to Woking, and the party has already started. You're drenched with champagne. You smell delightful, by the way.
I'm very sticky.
How is that going to be received back at Woking? What's the party celebrations going to be?
Oh, there's going to be big parties. They've already started.
Zak Brown speaking to Five Live's Jenny Gow. You'll be able to get more reaction from the final race of the season in the Checkered Flag podcast, available on BBC Sounds a little bit later this evening. Elsewhere, England captain Ben Stokes has praised his side's unbelievable bravery. England thrashed New Zealand by 323 runs in the second test in Wellington, so they've won the series. They're 2-0 up with one test to play. You can hear from Stokes on the TMS podcast. That one's out now. It's on BBC Sounds. England women have levelled the three-match ODI series at 1-1 against South Africa in Durban, winning by 6 wickets. And Champions Cup rugby full times: Bordeaux Begler 42, Leicester 28, Toulouse 54, Ulster 21. Live score: Bristol versus Leinster. Well, it's scoreless because it kicked off 60 seconds ago, but you can hear commentary on 5 Sports Extra. 2 full times in the Challenge Cup: Pau 32, Newcastle 19, and Ospreys 30, Lions 14. And you are up to date, which means it's time for second half commentary from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And a change, John Murray.
Yeah, Chelsea are going to bring Malo Gusto on at right back. So in the first half, they played really without a right back. Caicedo occasionally dropped in there, but it's Romeo Lavia, who was on a yellow card, who's being taken off by Enzo Maresca, and Gusto coming on. So Chelsea with Sanchez in goal. Now Gusto, Badiashile, Colwill and Cucurella. I presume, Clinton, that means they'll go to a back 4.
Yeah.
With Caicedo and Fernandez as the midfield 2, Sancho, Palmer, Neto and Jackson, I should say. Sancho on the left and Neto on the right, as it was in the first half.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, John. I think it's sensible. I think they got a natural right back in Gusto, and I hear Robbie Savage said something, so we'll address that at the end, because I don't know exactly what he said, but people have been messaging me saying, what have you got to say back to Savage? So
okay, we'll deal with that. We'll deal with him later as Robbie Savage's headmaster probably said.
Every day.
Sometimes twice a day. Off we go in the second half. Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1. 5 Live, the World Service with us as well here in chilly North London, inside the sleek lines of Tottenham's stadium. Across all of the various layers, we've got electronic advertising hoardings sweeping around and ever changing, and the ball's out of play for a throw-in for Tottenham. No changes for them at half-time. Forster in goal, Porro as the right back, Dragosine, who had to come on as the substitute for Romero. It was a gamble to play him, it didn't come off. So Dragosine and Van de Ven with Udogie at left back, then Sarr and Bissouma, Johnson, Kulusevski, Son and Solanke. Spurs were 2-0 up in the 11th minute. Solanke and Kulusevski, but Jadon Sancho's goal back also in the first 20 minutes meant that it was very much game on. And the big surprise, Clinton, is that we didn't see any further goals after the 18th minute of the match when Sancho scored.
Yeah, because there was loads of opportunities, and for a lot of Chelsea's top players as well, and who you'd want to fall to. And Tottenham created up. I remember Son having one, Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson. So there should definitely be more goals, because Chelsea have to come out and try and get the equaliser.
So that is Clinton Morrison, former Premier League striker, Crystal Palace man, played with Robbie Savage and Republic of Ireland international, and looking down from way up here, down below, Fernandez is playing a right-footed pass that Neto allows to bounce and then gets it down. Neto had his gloves on in the first half. They've gone. Neto taking on Udogie. Udogie did well, just got a little foot in, stopped the progress of the Portuguese international, and Chelsea go back to the halfway line.
Another change. Badiashile was playing on the right-hand side, and now Colwell's playing there. I think he wasn't comfortable in possession, Badiashile.
And the ball is swung away again for Chelsea out to the right flank. So that's a significant change for Badiashile to move over from the right to the left-hand side of the defence. And it is Badiashile in possession, who plays the ball here to the left-hand side. I think Enzo Maresca showed enough to suggest to us that he considered Fofana and Colwill to be his preferred pair.
Yeah, they're the two best, I think, centre-backs at Chelsea.
Palmer, just inside the Tottenham half, drags it back, and then Chelsea go all the way back to goalkeeper Sanchez. Incredibly, quite a number of people, probably hundreds, possibly thousands, have not taken their seats for the second half. I can't believe, if you're here and have paid for this, that you would want to miss a second of it. Neto with the ball running away from the penalty area, away from the Spurs penalty area. Chelsea attacking towards the end where their supporters are. None of them have left their seats as Sancho slips it through. Cucurella back in for Sancho, shoots, saved by Foster. That's a good save, a reaction save. I don't think he got the power on it that he wanted, Sancho, but nevertheless Foster had to stick out his left hand and deflect it away across the penalty area. That's another one. It's a list of saves now. Ball played over the top for Palmer. Foster comes. Palmer with a little touch that took it onto the goalkeeper and behind for a Chelsea corner.
Two big chances. Sancho's been outstanding on his left-hand side. Combines with Cucurella. It's another good save from Fraser Foster. It's a brilliant save, and just then he spreads himself ever so well. I thought Palmer was going to...
As he was looking at it for a goal kick for Tottenham that they take quickly. So the lines are open now for 606 on 5 Live to talk to Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage on the UK's most popular football phone in as Caicedo.
Wow,
great strength from him to hold off Bissouma. And now Cucurella in a well-advanced position, gives it to his left to Sancho, in the area, on his right foot, back to Cucurella. It couldn't open up for him, too many white Tottenham shirts. They've not cleared it though. Fernandez, you can hear the groans and the reaction from the Tottenham supporters. That groans of frustration that Spurs missed the chance to get it away. This is a good start to the second half from Enzo Maresca's side as Sancho wins a throw-in on the left-hand side off Brennan Johnson, after setting up the opening goal for Solanke, has been quiet.
He has been quiet. Cucurella's took him the other way, but he didn't look confident in that position, Cucurella, when Sancho played him in. But Sancho's been the main guy for Chelsea this afternoon.
Chelsea, Cucurella, again a very advanced position centrally. Now Neto, left-footed cross. Up goes Dragosine, is able to head that away. Comes out for Chelsea again. Tottenham have got everyone back behind the ball. This is a good spell, a good moment, as the Continentals call it, as Gusto gives it to Neto, left-footed cross from him towards the back post, a stretch and a clearance away by Pedro Porro, who gets the better of Jadon Sancho, passes it forward to Kulusevski, who felt Fernandez was coming, and Kulusevski held him off, left him on the ground, and now Kulusevski's away down the right wing. He's into the penalty area. The ball across with the outside of his boot was too close to goalkeeper Sanchez, who was able to come out and collect it and then give it out. This is more like it now. We're back in the swing, Clinton.
We are, John, end to end.
Like the first half. Palmer square from him. Enzo Fernandez, now to Sancho in the box, his ball across, all the way across the 6-yard box, comes back across, hits a Tottenham defender, and it bounces back for Udogie to clear in the 6-yard area.
Yeah, it's end to end. I think he overhits the ball, to be fair, I do, Sancho.
Yeah, that was a golden opportunity to perhaps set up another goal for Chelsea. Cucurella, Solanke's been down injured as Fernandez hits a low shot that bounces just wide by probably a foot and a half of the foot of the post.
Yes, but he can't moan Johnson going down, then he gets up. So there must be something alright with him, or he has to come off. But we're brilliant again from Chelsea. And once it comes to Fernandez, you thinking he's going to bend it into that far corner. It's just wide of the post. They need to score though. Chelsea need to score on top, while they're on top at the moment, because they are dominating.
Well, Brennan Johnson, who was the Tottenham player down on the edge of the penalty area, he got himself up, managed to make it back into the centre circle, but is now down again. He's receiving treatment, and it might be that Tottenham are going to make a change.
Timo Werner, I think, is getting ready, John.
Timo Werner. Apparently what Robbie said, Clinton, at half-time, Robbie Savage said, Cucurella, he's been on the floor more times than Clinton Morrison was at Birmingham's training ground when I used to throw him around for answering back.
And everyone knows who listens, Robbie Savage would never be able to throw Clinton Morrison around. So I'll leave you to that one, Rob.
Well, Clinton, entering dangerous ground, referring to yourself in the third person as well. And that's it for Johnson then. Brennan Johnson set up that opening goal brilliantly. Top scorer for Tottenham this season. But with the injuries that they've got, and yes, okay, Van de Ven is back, but Bentancur still suspended. You know, it's a problem. It's a problem.
It is a problem. It is a problem. You think you get your best 11 back? Probably surprising that they didn't put Maddison on and put Kulusevski out there. So he must be out of favour at the moment, Maddison, because I think it is a game for him where he can come on and make things happen.
Yeah, James Maddison must be itching to get in on the act here. Maddison, who scored 2 of the goals, didn't he, when they beat Manchester City? Their only win in the last 6 matches, but they are winning here, Tottenham. But Chelsea are on top at the moment as the ball bounces out of play. Palmer is saying that should be a Chelsea throw, and Yves Bissouma, very calmly, as Palmer drops the ball, just says, yeah, it is. It's a Tottenham throw. Flick down the line. This is for Son, who's not had much joy down the left-hand side. The Tottenham captain either. He's won a throw-in though. This is 6 or 7 yards back from that corner. Above every corner of this stadium, massive rectangular screens showing the action. Listen.
Quick one, John. I was Robbie Savage's bodyguard. Let's just leave it at that.
and boy, if there's anyone who needs a bodyguard,
it's Robbie Savage.
Throw-in taken to Son. Son takes on, beats Neto, still on the red ball line, beats Gusto, but then the third line of defence was Caicedo, and he was able to swing it away. Well, that's the best thing Son's done today. That was superb footwork.
He must have been listening to you, John, because it was great feet. How close it was, and the close control was fantastic ability, but good defending from Badiashile.
Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1. Live on BBC Radio. Kulusevski heading the ball away after this Tottenham throw, and then Palmer blasted off an opponent out of play for a deflection for a throw-in. We have more Champions League commentary and indeed Europa League commentary coming your way, because that Spurs' next assignment is Ibrox on Thursday night.
Oh, big football match.
Isn't it just? So we'll have all of the matches covered. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday commentary as Caicedo is bundled over. And it's a free kick. Sarr with the challenge. Sarr, who's already been booked in this match, don't forget. So he's just got to watch his step. But yeah, Tuesday night, early start, so drive will end early because Ian Dennis and the team will be in Spain for Girona, Liverpool, and then from 8 o'clock, Leipzig, Aston Villa will also be at Dinamo Zagreb, Celtic, and then Juventus, Manchester City is the commentary match on Wednesday night when Arsenal are at home to Monaco. It's 2 Tottenham players, Son and Bissouma, go for the same ball. And also Chelsea, by the way, have got a trip to Kazakhstan this week. They've got to go to Astana, which is in the middle of Asia. So, you know,
a lot of travelling.
Yeah, I mean, he will make changes. Well, he makes changes anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Fernandez, long ball forward for Neto, who's racing onto this, and Udogie, with the underside of his foot, has been forced by that to concede what was quite a cheap corner from that long pass from Fernandez. Corner is taken short. Tottenham have got to be sharp here. Gusto goes for goal. Forster's able to go down to his left. It was just to his left, and he pushed it around the post, but it was hit powerfully.
Yeah, it's one you expected to take. Quick corner again. Tottenham switching off on the corner. It's another 2-on-1 if Cole Palmer wants to do it, and he does.
Palmer coolly, as is his way, bounces the ball a couple of times, takes it short. Gusto's now into the area. Gusto's ball across is blocked by the body of Solanke. Inside his own 6-yard area.
John, is criminal. It happened once, but it happens twice. It's a 2-on-1, and no one goes out, 2 players to go and stop it happening. Good defending again from Tottenham, though.
Well worked by Chelsea, though. 2-1 Tottenham lead. Chelsea are pressing for an equaliser. Palmer waiting just off the field. Chelsea fans behind him, all around that corner.
Taylor.
Anthony Taylor.
He keeps stopping the game. Let it go. Players are going to be bumping in the penalty box.
Yeah.
Just slows the flow of the game down.
He's going to have a word with Kukurea and Udogi. Timo Werner is just walking past the scene of the alleged crime. Right, here we go, and they all gather together again, and the same thing starts. I mean, Colwell having his shirt tugged by, and in it comes from the corner, and it's caught by Forster, who comes beyond the 6-yard box. He was being impeded by Colwell, but Forster has delivered it away downfield. That's a foul by Kulusevski. He pushed over Gusto. Well, I mean, he's down on his haunches. He's got his hands together. He's saying, how could you possibly give that as a free kick? Tottenham fans hate it, but he pushed him over.
He did push him. There weren't much in it, but he weren't getting to it. It was a good race, and he was never winning that race, Kulusevski. That's what he's not, blessed with pace, but Gusto is quick.
And Postecoglou has still got his hands on his top of his head down there. 2-1 Spurs lead. And we've got just over half an hour to play. Lots to talk about if you're on your way home from one of the matches today. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton waiting for your calls on 08 085 909 693. Chelsea breakaway down the left from the halfway line with Neto. Neto's got Palmer to his... Oh, lovely footwork from Neto. Still going. Gives it to Kukurea. Works it to Sancho. Neto's continued his run. Only half cleared. Sancho now back to Kukurea on the edge of the box. Strong challenge on him from Kulusevski. Chelsea still in possession with Sancho past Werner into the area. Oh, Caicedo is taken out. It's a penalty. A sliding challenge comes in. It was late. Kukurea's dancing feet drew the challenge, and in slid Bissouma to take his legs away from him. It's a yellow card for the Tottenham midfielder, and it's a penalty for Chelsea. And if you know you're Chelsea, you know what this means. It's Cole Palmer, who of the 10 penalties he's taken in the Premier League, has scored all 10. Clinton, you called it almost before the challenge.
I just don't get it. Because I can see Bissouma, you're running at 100 miles an hour. Slow down, you know, it's Caicedo. No disrespect to Caicedo, it's not Cole Palmer in the penalty box. He's took a big touch, he's going out for a goal kick. Instead, once you make that decision, then it's a penalty. Before that, I think Neto should roll Cole Palmer in bad decision making, but big opportunity. Chelsea fans won't be happy when you put them stats up, John, because you put pressure on Palmer.
Does he feel the pressure?
No chance. That's why he's called Cole Palmer, isn't he?
So here we are from 2-0 down, Chelsea, with a chance from the penalty spot. Cole Palmer, all of those penalties scored for Chelsea. Remember his penalty as well in the shootout against Switzerland. Just did the same thing. And he's actually very coolly here again, as is his way. He's actually standing with one foot on top of the ball, tying up his laces to make sure that's absolutely right. Still, referee Taylor is making sure everyone's outside the box, then comes across to speak to Palmer again, who once again re-spots the ball. Fraser Forster waiting on the goal line. Huge figure, all in yellow. Palmer waits to take this penalty left-footed, just uses the front of his shirt to wipe his face. Then up comes Palmer and scores! Sends Forster the wrong way. And Chelsea here at the Tottenham Stadium have come from 2 goals down to make it 2-2 with half an hour to play. And Cole Palmer has scored his 10th of the season. And he runs over to the Chelsea fans, surrounded by his teammates in blue. And as they run away, he turns and he says to the Chelsea supporters, come on, give us more, we can win this. Tottenham 2, Chelsea 2.
John, that's why you're the best, mate, because you can put pressure on him and he's still putting it away. It's a brilliant penalty from Cole Palmer. It's probably the one player in the Chelsea team who doesn't feel pressure, as you said, John. Fantastic penalty. Sends Forster the wrong way. Game on now, but big mistake from Bissouma. Huge mistake. Doesn't need to make the tackle.
And I think he knew it himself as well, Bissouma. You were calling it as he slid in.
I just seen it, John. He was running like 100 miles an hour. He's got to know his players that it was Caicedo, and that's not being disrespect. He was going outside the box. I mean, he was in the box, but taking it to the edge of the byline. Bad decision.
Tottenham 2, Chelsea 2, and it's anyone's guess where this one goes now. There's Werner for Tottenham. Now Werner again receives it on the right from Porro. Kulusevski tries to give it back to Werner, but Badiashile was in position, and Chelsea are able to bring it away. And Enzo Fernandez being put under pressure. Out goes the pass towards the right-hand side. Bounces up into Neto's body. He's coming more into the game, I must say. And then Udogie tries to put a foot in for the tackle, captures Neto. He goes down. That's a free kick to Chelsea. Neto, for some reason, is rolling around. I mean,
so frustrating.
Unless he'd caught him on the ball or the ankle. But
that's what I mean. He should give the ball to Cole Palmer anyway, Neto. Give it to your best players.
So Cole Palmer, that's his 10th Premier League goal of the season as well, all 10 in the Premier League. Chelsea on the move again. Neto, they're sniffing the possibility of third here, but Udogie's into the challenge to put it out of play for a throw-in for the visitors from West London here on this cold night, as it is now. Darkness has closed in on the Tottenham Stadium. The lights are brightly on, and the Tottenham supporters possibly might be a little fearful of what this exciting young Chelsea team might be able to do in the remainder of this match. But Tottenham aren't finished yet either, although it'll need better than that. Solanke tried to flick it to Werner, and now Chelsea coming forward once again. Jackson wrestling with Bissouma, and then the ball bounces out of play off Werner to throw in to Chelsea. Their tails are up, Enzo Maresca's side.
They are up. I probably would bring on Madueke for Neto. He's not really had any much draw out of Doggy at the moment, and I think there's so much space for him over there, but they've just scored, so he'll leave it a bit, Maresca. But Chelsea are dominating.
And what's Ange Postecoglou going to do? Because they need to change the momentum here.
The only thing you look with that is Maddison. Can Maddison come on and make a difference?
Well, here you are, the Tottenham fans now responding. Dragusin does well there, wins the ball back, gives it to Werner. This is a rare Tottenham attack in the second half. 2-2 the score. Werner against Badiashile. That's well defended by Badiashile. Sancho, though, might lose it. Badiashile has to help him out. Two Tottenham players in there. Dragusin's able to get the better of Jackson physically. So Mickey van de Ven now. Van de Ven to Son. Spurs need to get him involved in the game more as well. Dragusin here to Werner. Werner against his former club, a Champions League winner with Chelsea, don't forget, Timo Werner. Then the cross from Porro is blocked out of play by Enzo Fernandez for a throw-in to Tottenham down the right. 25 minutes to play here. This stadium, it is vibrant, the atmosphere. The Chelsea fans are playing their part over in their corner. They're sniffing the possibility of a victory that would move them, if they were able to get it, to 31 points. They'd be 4 points behind Liverpool. But they've got a job to do yet.
Yeah, it's still a long way to go in this football match, but you're right, John. They've been a better team in the second half. Tottenham haven't started. That's why I was thinking, can he bring on fresh legs? They need a bit of impetus at the moment, Tottenham.
Well, Tottenham have got the ball down the Chelsea end as they attack from left to right towards that huge stand. Solanke trying to get round the outside of Caicedo, didn't go out of play. Sancho's able to turn and clear it away to the halfway line. Again, Caicedo, I mean, he is everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He breaks up attack. He's brilliant.
Forster plays it out to Dragusin. The crowd warned him that Palmer was coming, went back to the goalkeeper. Forster, who went the wrong way from Palmer's penalty. He dived down to his left. Palmer, it was an excellent penalty. I think if Forster had gone the right way, I think he might not have been able to save it.
Yeah, you're right. It was right into the side net, and they're always the difficult ones, John.
2-2. The score. Lines open for 606 08 085 909 693. After Fulham 1, Arsenal 1, Ipswich 1, Bournemouth 2, Leicester 2, Brighton 2, Ross County 0, Rangers 3. So Rangers just 2 points behind Aberdeen now. West Brom 2, Sheffield United 2. And we do have a choice of listening, by the way, because the Bristol-Leinster game is now on Sports Extra on BBC Sounds. I'll get your latest score from that in a moment or two. And then NFL is on Sports Extra tonight. The Arizona Cardinals against Seattle Seahawks. Darren Fletcher and Greg Brady with that. It is still 0-0 Bristol and Leinster after almost 20 minutes. So Sanchez, the Chelsea goalkeeper, a long ball downfield from him, but Sancho, I think he thought he was offside. He was offside. It's a free kick.
You're right, he never got back on side. That's where he needs to work a bit harder, Sancho. Get yourself back on side. Seen clips of it in the first half.
Tottenham take the free kick. Referee's blown his whistle because Cole Palmer might might have a problem. Palmer is down on his haunches and he is feeling his right boot.
I think he got trod on here.
Okay.
And you know these boots nowadays, they don't have a lot of protection. You know, they're very bright, and when you get trod on that, well, John, on a cold night, it is a painful one.
But I mean, who was I talking about? Oh, it was Lenny Yoro, wasn't it? Lenny Yoro, who's been out for months with a fractured metatarsal.
I've just seen it now. He got trod on his toe, so he'll be all right, hopefully.
Okay. Declan Rice has been playing with a broken toe, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's Superman, him though. Ridiculous.
Tottenham 2, Chelsea 2. Match of the day for the highlights tonight, BBC One, and then the women's football show straight after that. Watch it any time on the iPlayer. Ball flicked forward through Udogie. It's been taken on by Son. The offside flag went up. Udogie left it. Son shoots across the face of goal and wide. And that might have got the officials out of a world of problems here.
Johnny, you are spot on. He puts the flag up and they stopped because he's going for it in Udogie, and then Son says to leave it and they let it carry on. The officials are lucky that Son ends up punish them and put it in the back of the net, because that would have been some drama.
Although one assumes that the whistle didn't go.
Yeah, it didn't go. Play to the whistle.
As every boy or girl who plays football at school is surely told by their teachers.
But Son's got to score there, John. He's got to score. As you said, he's been quiet. Hasn't looked like the Son that we've seen of last season. He just needs to get up and running again.
Yeah, it was actually wastefully shot wide of the far post by Son. And I presume even in 2024 the teachers tell children about playing to the whistle.
Yeah.
Tottenham 2, Chelsea 2. Here's Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez in on the challenge. Referee allows play to continue, but then brings it back for that challenge on Sarr by Enzo Fernandez.
I don't get that.
Free kick.
I don't get it, because there was advantage, but Werner just couldn't control the football. So he has played the advantage, but because he loses it, he brings it back.
And Postecoglou in that light grey coat, rather drab coat. I think it is, don't you, that colour?
Yeah, what is it?
Hardly lighting up December. There's the ball is played over the top. He had a word there with Pedro Porro. Here is Porro driving forward down the right. The ball bounces away from Gusto. And on the referee giving a free kick to Chelsea. Colville is down in the area. Whether there was a coming together with Solanke, was it? And Colville has gone down and the referee's given the free kick.
Yeah, it was Solanke, but you're centre forward, John. You've got to put yourself about. He's got to go for the ball, Solanke. I don't think there's much in that. No way. Come on.
And that has sparked another shower of these pieces of paper that were used for a big mosaic in the stand before kick-off. And if you weren't listening in the first half, the match was regularly held up because those pieces of paper were being thrown on, and now there are many more of them being thrown on in disgust from the Tottenham fans. It is Tottenham 2, Chelsea 2. Spurs were 2-0 up early through Solanke and Kulusevski, but Sancho and Palmer with a penalty, scored a penalty here last season as well in the 4-1. Tottenham coming forward, Kulusevski receives it from Werner. He's in the Chelsea left-back area, and he's gone down there rather theatrically under the challenge from Badiashile. Not sure how much contact there was there either, but he's got the free kick.
Yeah, but John, he likes to get too tight. He's not going nowhere, Kulusevski, so he's pulling it back of his shirt. It is a foul. The second contact's not a foul, but the first one, as a defender, it blows my mind if forward's going away from goal, John. Don't touch him. There's no need to touch him. Good chance this for Tottenham, though.
It is. And actually it gives them an opportunity here just to take breath. Since the Chelsea equaliser for 2-2, Tottenham have rediscovered a foothold in the match. So this free kick is in the left full-back position near the corner of the penalty area, a couple of yards outside. Pedro Porro, to the great sound of the Tottenham Stadium as the backdrop. Porro takes the free kick now and curls it in, and Van de Ven heads it across and wide of goal. He was stretching for it, couldn't get it on target beyond the far post.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. I think it's a good ball in from Pedro Porro. And Van de Ven, it's always a struggle, and it's hard. He's running at so much pace, he can't direct it on target. There's a winner in this, John. I don't know who, though.
Chelsea playing it out from the back. Kukurea turns and is able to win a throw-in for Chelsea. Again, if you weren't listening early on, one of the many stories from this match was that Kukurea slipped over twice in the build-up to both of Tottenham's goals. Do see match of the day for that. So that was farcical, Clinton, wasn't it?
Over to the bench.
Good enough.
He can't believe it. Can you get my boots? You should have had your boots on.
So 2-2, Chelsea bring it away lovely from Enzo Fernandez in a tight space. Then to Sancho. Porro slides in. Jadon Sancho really caught the eye. Caicedo slips it through the legs of Solanke and then gives it to Gusto. Palmer seems to be okay, by the way, and here he is now in his orange boots. Palmer thought about the cross. Wheeler there on the right-hand side takes on Udogi. Still goes. Brilliant play. Dribbling now into the penalty area. Shoots, deflected across the air. Enzo Fernandez, left foot, flies past Forster, and Chelsea now lead here by 3 goals to 2. What a young team they are. Are they contenders for the title? People say no. They look like they are on this sort of performance. Brilliant finish from Fernandez. Tottenham 2, Chelsea 3, and Postecoglou's woes mount up down below.
I tell you what, they were just about to make a change as well, and Kunku was coming on. But you know what, John? It's all about Cole Palmer. He teased, he twisted Udogi on that right-hand side, inside out. I know it gets a deflection, but I've got to give credit to Enzo Fernandez. Once it comes to him, the technique's outstanding. Left foot, volley into the bottom corner. We said, like you want to see Lavia and Caicedo, you have to find a place in the team for Enzo Fernandez. What a finish, but Tottenham, they've rolled over in the second half, John.
What a finish that is. He absolutely drove his foot through it from, what was he, 12 yards, 30 yards out. I mean, superbly created by Palmer, that footwork.
He's a joke. I feel like maybe the best player in the Premier League at the moment, John. On form. It's fantastic. I know I'll have people arguing with me in that, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
He's now, this year, in 2024, this is just in the Premier League, he's scored, Cole Palmer, he's scored 24 goals and he has 14 assists. But it's the plays, forget the numbers, it's what he did with the ball at his feet. You know, that's what people
That's what you pay money to, because he went and he committed 2 or 3 defenders, and then he attracts defenders, and that enables space for Enzo Fernandez. That's why he's a joy to watch. Fantastic footballer.
And that finish from Enzo Fernandez with his left foot driving it through as Van der Ven and Jackson have just come together, and Jackson has gone down. He's gone down holding his face. This was when the ball was played past them.
Now, what happened, John, is the ball's played back to the goalie. I think Jackson goes to close it down, and Van der Ven just stands his ground, and Jackson runs into him. It's nothing. He'll be fine.
So we now have a scoreline of Tottenham 2, Chelsea 3. And Chelsea are actually going to take Jackson off and bring Nkunku on. So that is his last involvement of the game, Nicholas Jackson. He's not been able to get onto the score sheet today, having scored in his last couple of appearances, and he pulls his shirt up over his head. But when Jackson is taken off, what's Enzo Maresca doing? Bringing on his top scorer this season, the Frenchman Nkunku, who scored 12 across the various competitions, although only 2 of them have been in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think Jackson's the main number 9 at Chelsea this season, and Cookie's got to bide his time.
So Chelsea quite happy for this to take as long as possible. And Nkunku running onto the field down below, and Tottenham, well, it's the Chelsea fans you can hear now in the corner, and a long pass for Tottenham downfield for Saad.
Oh my gosh.
It's played forward for Neto, and Neto's got space on the right. Now it's 3 against 2. Neto pulls it across. Sancho controls it on his left foot and shoots, and it's deflected wide of the goal.
John, please, the reason I said, oh my gosh, did you see the touch from Cole Palmer to put Neto in? Oh my word. Go and watch it this evening, everyone. What a touch. And to be fair, great feet from Sancho, and now Mickey Van der Ven has gone down. So you hope that's not an injury, but good defending.
The shot from Sancho, lovely, and from foot to foot, it was It was deflected wide by Porro, so it's a corner to Chelsea. But Van de Ven, who's been out with a hamstring problem. Remember, he injured his hamstring in the Carabao Cup win against Manchester City, and he's lying on his back.
But you know what you do, John? It might just be a bit of muscle fatigue.
Cramp, yeah.
Take him off. You don't want him to pull his hamstring and be out for 6 weeks. I know there may be no one else
to
bring on,
make a change.
but you have to make a change. You don't want to risk him. Yeah, bring the youngster Archie Gray on. You don't want Mickey Van de Ven out. You've already lost Romero in the first half.
Yeah. Tottenham 2, Chelsea 3. Sadly, we have less than 15 minutes of this thrilling match to play, and Maddison and Bergvall are going to come on as well. So. And Postecoglou,
he's going for it.
He's going to go for it. And why not?
Exactly.
In a match like this, why not?
Exactly. They'll create chances.
Mind you, if they end up losing 5-2, I'm not sure Tottenham fans will be saying, well, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why
not? He did the right thing, throwing him on. But I think in a match like this, it is... I mean, crazy things could yet happen. You know how it goes.
Yeah, they can create chances. They're still good enough to cause problems. They've got to think they scored 2 goals before that.
Okay, so Maddison, Bergvall and Archie Gray are coming on. Archie Gray. So the big risk, Van de Ven and Romero both starting the match. Was it a risk? Well, neither of them have been able to see it through. Also coming off, Kulusevski being replaced by Maddison. It's the same match like this. James Maddison must have been sitting there desperate to get into the action. And Bissouma?
Yeah, Bissouma having behind the goal.
Yeah, having conceded the penalty that made it 2-2. But it's a corner to Chelsea to restart play. Chelsea leading by 3 goals to 2. So Chelsea will be going to within 4 points of the leaders Liverpool with this scoreline. Enzo Fernandez just waiting to take this. Chelsea not in a hurry now, of course. They're quite happy for the referee to take as long as he can, Anthony Taylor, to blow his whistle, which he does, and then blue shirts run in all directions into the 6-yard box it goes, and it's headed up and behind the near post by Pedro Porro for another Chelsea corner. They'll be happy with that. Keep the ball down that end.
Yeah, you're right.
Set piece.
They've been the best team in the second half, though, John. They came out, made a change, put Gusto, and he made a big difference on that right-hand side.
Chelsea might stop just making a nuisance of themselves. Maybe get... Here it comes, the delivery. Porro got his head to it, across the box. Son heads it away. Comes out for Chelsea again. Neto playing it back towards the halfway line. So Tottenham here are facing what would be a 7th Premier League defeat of the season, as the ball is fired forward by Palmer from near the halfway line, but will bounce all the way through to Forster, who's able to pick it up and give it out to Bergvall, the vividly blonde-haired Swede, and then Dragoshin wins a throw-in for Tottenham halfway inside his own territory. We're into the last 10 minutes now. 08 085 909 693 to join the 606 football phone in. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton on any of the weekend's events up and down the country. Dragoshin with a long pass. Barry O'Sheill is playing it forward, and then Enzo Fernandez goes in, wins the ball against Sarr. Tottenham supporters feel that he felled him, but I think he took the ball there. Enzo Fernandez, having just scored that super goal. That's now 3 in his last 4 appearances, and he is a threat. He can, he is capable, isn't he, of being the all-round midfielder.
You got to credit the manager. He's brought him back in over the last few games, and he's been outstanding. And credit the manager for the change he made at half-time.
But that finish as well from him on his left foot, he absolutely thumped it. That was like something out of the old comics that I used to read when I was growing up. Here's Porro. Porro's long pass, the space for Werner on the right-hand side. Cucurella trying to get back. Werner's got it down. Werner's ball hits Cucurella and bounces behind. Tottenham corner.
He gives him time, Timo Werner. He has to take a touch, John, and get it out and just whip it into the area. Solanke, Maddison, Son, they were all in there, but good defending from Cucurella.
So much in this match. Spurs leading 2-0 in the 11th minute, but now Chelsea 3-2 up. And I think if they're able to hang on to this, or even better the scoreline, you know what the conversation is going to be. Here's the corner from the right. Porro to take it. An outswinger towards the penalty spot. It's over. Dragosina comes out to Son. Found it awkward to control. It bounced up at him, and then Neto is in, and Chelsea are off on the counter-attack. Neto plays it forward. Sancho running free with it. Palmer's available through the middle. Nkunku's there as well. Sancho plays it through into the box to Palmer. The angle's very tight, and Palmer actually has to take it. Oh, and he's challenged there. It's a penalty. Sarr with a challenge on Palmer from behind. And Anthony Taylor points to the spot, and Chelsea will have a chance to open up a 2-goal lead here.
I don't know what he's going away from the goal, John. He's going away from the goal, Cole. I think they'd made a mess of it because I thought Sancho should have played it earlier. It's a penalty. And Palmer's so clever. He leans his leg in, and Sarr is making a tackle like that when Palmer's going away from the goal. It's naive defending. Basuma did it, and now Sarr did it. But it's clever play from Cole Palmer.
Well, he's won the penalty, set up 1 goal. He's already scored from the penalty spot. He's the leading English scorer in the Premier League. You know, in some circumstances, teams might look for a different penalty taker. But when you've got a man who's scored 11 out of 11, and so he's matched the total of Yaya Toure, and this is a chance to make it 12 out of 12 in the Premier League, but from the penalty spot. Now, last time he went to Forster's right. The goalkeeper went the wrong way. Which way this time? There's no messing about this time. Palmer with his second penalty of the match. It's a Panenka.
Oh my God!
It right down the middle. Oh my goodness! That is coolness piled on coolness from Cole Palmer. I can barely believe my eyes that he did that. That is something else. Tottenham 2, Chelsea 4, and Enzo Maresca's team on the way to victory here again at the Tottenham Stadium. And Ange Postecoglou stands below with his arms crossed, a fixed expression on his face. I don't think he can believe it either.
What can you say about this kid, John? I had to say, oh my gosh, because it's unbelievable. Because you know what? It's a big penalty, you know, because at 3-2, if you don't score that, Tottenham still have a chance. But you know what? This kid has got the world at his feet. You can say, anyone can say what you want. He's world class. Best player in the Premier League at the moment, without a shadow of a doubt. Unbelievable. What a penalty. Pure class.
Tottenham fans now are turning and heading towards the exit. 5 minutes to play. Spurs are looking at what would be their 7th Premier League defeat of the season. It will leave them in the bottom half of the table. You can barely believe that this is the team that won 4-0 at Manchester City a fortnight ago. And yet, it feels like they've got a world of problems.
Yeah, it's the inconsistency. That's what it is. It is the inconsistency. They're too easy to play against. They're too open. They haven't got enough fit players ready at the moment, and that is the struggle for Tottenham. And you look at Chelsea, the way they're and I know they've bought a lot of players, Chelsea, and people say they should deliver, but Maresca is managing this team excellent at the moment.
And Noni Madueke is going to come on for the closing minutes of what will surely now be another Chelsea victory. There was a long time, wasn't there, when Chelsea was so successful at the previous home of Tottenham. The Chelsea supporters used to refer to it as 3-point lane. But this is modern Chelsea. Chelsea who won here 4-1 last season, now winning 4-2. That was under Pochettino, that hurt. And this is new Chelsea under Enzo Maresca. This is new Chelsea who are right in this title race. And they've been the big winners this weekend with Liverpool not playing. It's Chelsea, they're the only ones who've been able to take full advantage after Manchester City and earlier Arsenal's draws. 08085 909 693 to get in touch and talk to Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton on 606 85058 if you want to text. Hashtag BBC 606 on social media. But even with Ange Postecoglou's outlook, it's almost impossible to see them turning this around 4-2 down with 3.5 minutes to play.
No, I thought the first half, I thought Tottenham were very good. I think the second half, Chelsea have just stepped on the gas. They've stepped and they've been outstanding.
Yeah, more and more gaps appearing in the home sections. There are nowhere near 60,000 people inside the ground now. And at times today, I mean, it's been a really memorable match, this. I said last season was one of the matches of the season. I think this one is as well.
Definitely. I think grateful to be here to witness it, because it's been a brilliant football match.
The Son is bundled over there on the far side. Enzo Maresca going to make another double change. João Felix is going to come on, and Renato Veiga as well, the Portuguese defender. So double change coming for Chelsea. Tottenham vainly trying to do something about this with Archie Gray, who's now alongside Dragusin in central defence after Van de Ven and Romero both had to go off injured. Maddison tries to cut the ball across the penalty area, but that's cleared out of play over there on the far side. The rains sweep in again. Feels like a bit of a metaphor for Tottenham now. This, here at their home ground, 4-2 down to this exciting young Chelsea team. And now the cold rain is falling on Ange Postecoglou's head as Werner plays it infield. Porro back to Werner, bouncing up. In comes Fernandez, bounces away. Fernandez got the touch to that. Sancho, he's had a good day, hasn't he? Looks very comfortable in that blue Chelsea shirt.
He looks good in that Chelsea shirt. That's what you do. You give the player confidence, and he's got a player in there.
And Fernandez wins a 50-50 with Porro, and Chelsea have got it back. And also, you know, again, Maresca tonight trying something a little different here, playing mainly with three central defenders, and yet that's come off. And those two substitutes, it is cold. Both of them are dancing around on the touchline, trying to keep warm before they come on into the action. Udogi. But I mean, Tottenham have conceded two penalties in the match. Mistakes, bad mistakes.
It is bad mistakes.
Sarr and Basuma.
You're right, and it's mistakes that have cost them, really.
Long one forward from Dragusin, but Cucurella's able to head that down. It seems a long time ago now that we were talking about Chelsea being in trouble in this match after Cucurella's two slips led to the opening two goals. What a comeback. 4 goals without reply. Just like last season here in this stadium when Jackson scored the hat-trick. Madueke on the far side. And again, the management, Clinton from Enzo Maresca, who's had what he's had to say about Madueke. There's a slip by Badiashile. Werner in now, Solanke on the turn, shoots into the body of Colwill, just to the right of the penalty spot, blocked away by the Chelsea defender. And then it was actually out of play for a Spurs throw-in down in the left-back area. We're in the 90th minute now, and we're going to see the latest Chelsea changes. And that's it for Cole Palmer. He won't be getting another hat-trick here. He won't be matching Justin Kluivert after his hat-trick of penalties the other week.
Yeah, he's a player, by the way. He's a joy to watch. What a special footballer.
And you have to see his second penalty. He's walked to this side of the field. Is it him coming off?
It was him. His number was up, but I don't know. Oh, 7 minutes have added on. I thought
And it's Cucurella who's coming off. So Cucurella and Palmer are the two to come off. So Veiga has taken over at left back. And as I say, João Felix coming on into the midfield. But Cole Palmer with the 2 goals that he scored from the penalty spot. That means now 11 goals in the Premier League this season. So as I say, he's the top England qualified player in the standings, and he's just 2 behind Haaland and Salah. Here's Bergvall down the right for Tottenham, not giving this up yet. Deep cross, taken down by Son, and then Son got it all wrong, and he's actually passed it straight to Felix, and João Felix running it away towards the centre circle, and Pedro Porro did well there actually to make ground, and then actually draw a foul from João Felix. So 7 minutes of added time.
You can see Son's not in good, confident mood, because once he gets that, usually he would take the full-back on, but he's there trying to pass it to someone else.
And actually Tottenham thinking they might get a goal back. They've lost possession, and now it's played forward to Madueke. Madueke against Gray, goes past him to the dead ball line, but Gray slides in. Bergvall as well, and in the end it actually bounced back onto Madueke, and it is the goal kick to Tottenham. 08085 909 693. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. They'll be a little bit like, as I said about James Maddison, they will not be able to wait to get their teeth into this match. What a match we've seen. Football Daily will be available this evening with the Premier League Review International edition. You'll find that on the Football Daily feed on BBC Sounds, which is where the Commentators View podcast lurks as well, now in its third part, as Gusto lifts a ball over the top for Forster to come out and gather, and then he underarms it to Udogie. We've still got 5 minutes of added time to play. Bergvall drives his foot through a pass to Werner, who skips away past Vega. Werner now to the edge of the box. Maddison, lovely footwork, and then left-footed shoots over the angle of post and bar from just inside the area.
He does everything right, Maddison. The take-in, the little shift to the left-hand side, and you fancy James Maddison with his technical ability, but he's just leaning back high and wide.
So goal kick to Chelsea. So for Ange Postecoglou.
John, he comes under pressure, Ange does.
Yeah.
Tottenham can't be where they are in the league.
This means they'll have won one of their last 7 matches. And it means as well, so a 7th Premier League defeat means it will be the first time since 2008, 2009 that Tottenham have lost more than 6 of their first 15 league matches of a Premier League season. And you'll remember that season. That's when they made a dreadful start under Wanda Ramos, and then Harry Redknapp was brought in when Wanda Ramos was sacked. So the Europa League, I think, becomes quite important to Tottenham, and the Carabao Cup as well. That home match against Manchester United the week after next takes on huge proportions for both teams. Here is Werner on the right-hand side. Werner moving in. Lovely little ball through to Son, who's leaned into Son with a shot blocked by the body of Sanchez. Son could have gone down there under the challenge of Badiashile. Stayed on his feet.
He could have, but he could have rode it to Sarr. Sarr's got a tap in. I think he's desperate to get his goal. It's good goalkeeping from Sanchez. Good play from Timo Werner there.
Tottenham now with Porro, who turns. He's off on a run towards the edge of the area, and he's tripped. Fernandez and Caicedo. It's a free kick 3 yards outside the box, and referee Taylor just leans over and puts the spray down on the place that this is going to be taken, just to the right of the D. And Son in there. They've had a couple of chances, Clinton, there. Maddison and Son.
Yeah, big chances, which, you know, if you take one of them, they get a bit nervy. Chelsea still got 3 or 4 minutes to go. There were big opportunities. The one in particular from Son there, I think he should just square it to Sarr, who's got a tap in.
And also Sanchez, we talked about him in the first half. That's
big
an important save.
Yeah, you're right, John. Massive save.
Tottenham 2, Chelsea 4. If you've just switched us on 5 Live in the World Service, or found us on BBC Sounds. Free kick. The Tottenham cockerel up there is glowing. But down on the pitch, it's very flat for Spurs. Just like Jadon Sancho, who's lying down behind the wall. So free kick by Porro into the wall, comes back to Porro, hits it low, and Sanchez going down to his right. Might have just got a fingertip to that. Maybe it struck one of the players in the penalty area, but it's a corner anyway to Tottenham.
Yeah, I think it was deflected off the wall. I think that's spot on, John.
Corner from the left for Tottenham. They want to take it quickly, but we've got an issue. I mean, more scrunched up pieces of paper are being thrown into the penalty area from the Tottenham fans. You'd think they'd want them to get on and take the corner. So it's taken short by Bergvall. Back to Maddison. Maddison now takes on and beats João Felix into the penalty area. Maddison back across. Son scores! He's driven it in through a crowd of players. It's now 4-3 to Chelsea. But we've only got about a minute to play.
Imagine if them chances we just seen with Son and Maddison, they go in. It's a different football match, but I got to say, it's brilliant play from James Maddison on the byline. He goes past João Felix, he's not there. Picks the right pass to Son, and I think it takes a deflection when it goes in, but it's a goal for Tottenham.
Son scoring in, I think, the 6th minute of added time. It's come too late for them, but it's 4-3. Tottenham 3. Chelsea 4, and And now Enzo Maresca just coming across there to Lewis Smith, who is the fourth official. I'm not sure Ange Postecoglou has moved since I last looked down at him, standing there with his arms crossed.
He's just pointing to everyone, there's a minute to go. Andy Taylor's got his finger up telling all the players there's a minute to go.
Yeah, and 1 minute to play. Chelsea restart the match, play it back to Sanchez. Sanchez long downfield. The question is whether there's going to be one more chance for Tottenham to perhaps make it 4-4. But actually Vega, right-footed, just sends that down towards the edge of the box. Well, we are now in the 8th minute of added time. This is it. This is the final fling for Tottenham. Bergvall all the way across field to Werner. Werner now moves infield past Sancho, left-footed ball clipped over everyone. Sancho after it, he can't get there. He can't. He strained every sinew, but it bounced beyond him and through for a goal kick. And that will be it. Chelsea will see this out. Referee Taylor is asking for the ball. Bergvall puts it on the edge of the 6-yard box. Well, he looks as though he's going to allow play to continue perhaps for a little further.
Probably when he kicks it, Sanchez. He's going to book him now.
Yeah, Sanchez is now booked for replacing the ball, therefore delaying the restart, that favourite of 2024-25 season. And this is it. This is going to be the final whistle. Tottenham, it's going to be their second defeat in 4 days. They will remain in the bottom half of the table. No final whistle yet. Still a chance. Play continues. Forward for Chelsea though. Porro in on the challenge, wins it from Sancho. Porro's ball forward, lands at the feet of Vega, and there it is, the final whistle. Chelsea have won again here. Enzo Maresca turns. That is a very obvious and strong celebration from the Chelsea manager, clenching his fist. He then turns, walks across and shakes hands with a visibly crestfallen Ange Postecoglou, who today, after the defeat at Bournemouth and after that exchange with Tottenham supporters inside the Bournemouth stadium, after 11 minutes, he saw his side winning 2-0 here. But by the end of it, they've lost 4-3, and Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham have gone down to their 7th Premier League defeat of the season. But what a day for Chelsea, coming from 2-0 down to win 4-3, and they are very much looking towards Liverpool.
That's what teams do that are in the title. Might not play brilliant in the first half, but stay in the game. But second half, I thought Chelsea were outstanding. And even at the end, though, you're still thinking Tottenham created 2 or 3 golden opportunities to maybe get something from the game. But Chelsea were the better team in that second half. They were clinical. He made the changes, and I bet he was panicking at the end, Maresca, because the changes he made. But yeah, fantastic performance from Chelsea, and they're definitely title contenders at the moment, John.
Ange Postecoglou in that grey coat, grey-faced, is walking around his players and thanking them for their efforts. He claps towards the Tottenham fans in the big stand there, but it's probably a quarter full. I'm not sure how many of them applauded back. You can almost see the steam coming off the top of Ange Postecoglou's head, but contrast that, this is football, this is sport, while Tottenham are, the body language is all slumped shoulders and heads down. Those Chelsea players, as one, go towards their supporters. And Chelsea, 5th win in a row in League and Cup. They won 4 in a row in the Premier League, just 4 points behind Liverpool now. After Tottenham 3, Chelsea 4. What a match.
Extraordinary game. And actually, Clinton Morrison, it's a game of emotions, and the facial expressions that John was just describing there. Enzo Maresca, Ange Postecoglou, as you would expect, opposite ends of the spectrum. But actually, the TV cameras focused in on Daniel Levy, and I think his face was possibly the most telling. An ashen-faced Daniel Levy in the stands, and there will be Tottenham fans calling into 606 in a moment, 08085 909 693, wanting him to be sacked, Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, they probably will. That's why the cameras are pending on Daniel Levy, because he knows the pressure and where Tottenham are in the league, and the performances as well have been nowhere near good enough. Too open, conceding too many goals. You're probably thinking, we score 3 goals at home, we should win the football match. Not this Tottenham team. They're too wide, too expansive. And I thought, as I said, Enzo Maresca in the second up, the change he made when he brought on Gusto and took off Lavia, put Caicedo back in the midfield. I think Enzo Fernandez was better with Caicedo in the midfield. So they're brilliant. They're flying at the moment, Chelsea, but big problems for Tottenham. They have to turn it around. You can complain about the injuries and that, but everyone gets injuries, Crossy. They have to start delivering.
I mean, it is, I know people have said it before, not an original thought, but, you know, for those of us who got back a little way, it is reminiscent of Ozzy Ardiles' Tottenham side, when in the end it just was not sustainable.
You're right. It does remind me that of his team, and you can't keep playing like that, John. It is entertaining. All right. So Tottenham fans, Crossy, wanted to see entertaining football. I get it, but you know, if I'm my team, I want to see them winning football matches. It's about getting 3 points and going home happy. I don't care the style of football. Yeah, it is nice if we play attractive football, but if you keep losing week in, week out, playing that style of football, it's disappointing.
Yeah, but I've heard this about Tottenham fans previously saying, you know, they want attractive football. Of course they want attractive football. They also want results, and they are fans of a big enough club to expect that those two things are possible to have at the same time. And all they have to do is look at Chelsea, who are managing Clinton to do both of those things.
Yeah, they are. And I tell you, I look at it today, and I probably look at Tottenham's backline that started and thought maybe that's stronger than Chelsea's backline. It wasn't on today's evidence. I know Mickey van der Ven and Romero are just coming back from injury, and Romero had to go
that's
off.
Backfired. Those selections.
That has backfired. It definitely has. And that's why you take that gamble. But when you don't train enough, Crossy, it does backfire. And they've got big games coming up, Tottenham. So pressure will start mounting for Andrew Wright. 6:06 will be a good listen. I'll be listening on the way home.
I think as well, John, you have to say, and I'm watching him just walk down the tunnel now and sort of shrugging his shoulders almost at his own brilliance. Even by his own standards, that was a special day for Cole Palmer.
Yeah, and that is 12 Premier League penalties.